Yo, what's good, man? It's your host, man. It's your boy, bro. It's Rapstar Boxing in the motherfucking building out here. So just do all that great stuff and smash that fucking like button, man. We're going to talk about boxing for a bit. I'm a bit tired, but, we made it happen now. So we're here now. We're going to talk about what is going on in 2022. Now, I'm going to keep it real, man. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you guys. I'm not here to sugarcoat this shit. I've been looking at channels. I was on Punch Drunk Boxing today, and they're all talking about the business of boxing. Why the business of boxing doesn't allow the biggest fight to fucking happen. I never came on this channel to talk about people's businesses. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I am not a boxing fan who's here to give you the business of. I'm not a boxing fan to give you a business degree. We're not in this boxing sport to worry about how fighters do their fucking business. If I want to listen to business, I'll go and do business platforms. I'll go to business, different streams, bro. I wouldn't be sitting on a motherfucking boxing stream. And today, boxing channels, I'm not saying it's because the boxers, all they do is talk about their business. The business of boxing wasn't good enough. The business of boxing doesn't allow the fight. I'm done hearing that shit, bro. We're not in this fucking boxing YouTube to listen to how boxers do business. Motherfucker, I got my own business. I don't want to think about other person's business. Are you in this boxing fan to listen to how boxers do business? I want to do my own business. I've got my own business. I want to listen to novice boxers trying to do their businesses. The fucking business gonna teach me. All I want to know is if the fights are gonna happen. That's all I want to know. I'm disappointed. Yes, I am disappointed. I'm not happy that a man's going for business, getting a big paycheck, going to Black Prime. Fuck that shit, bro. I'm not here to see Terence Crawford's fucking bank account. I want to see the fight. I don't give a fuck about if the business wasn't good enough for Errol Spence or Crawford, bro. That's what every boxing fan is talking about. What the fuck have we become? People that just want to listen to business. Let me tell you some business that has been disappointing. This is the most disappointing business in boxing. This is the most disappointing fucking business in boxing, bro. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury has been a big disappointment for me. I'll keep it real. I'm not here to do the heavy lifting for boxing, bro. I'm not here to be a fanboy because the business of Tyson Fury and AJ is no good. And I'm going to sit there and talk about their business for about a month. Fuck their business. I got my own business. But this business of boxing doesn't allow these people to fight. I just want to talk about the fights. These big fights, we never got these fights. All we did in 2022, bro, is speak about these kind of fights. We only spoke about these fights, bro. We never got Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. We never got the fight. It was just talk. It was just talk. All talk, no action. I don't know if you can hear me now, but it's all talk and no action. 2022 has been disappointing for me. '22's just been disappointing year, bro. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm not here to do the heavy lifting of just talking about boxing if boxing's not talking about itself. I'm not here to talk about boxing if boxing's not going to talk about itself, bro. Look at Ryan Garcia, bro. Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, disappointing. Fucking disappointing, bro. All it is talk back and forth in Twitter. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm not going to just sit here and talk about boxing and cap for their business. I don't give a fuck about their business. I just care about boxers going into the ring. Fights which are not happening, it's all talk. 2022 has been a lot of talk. From Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Ryan Garcia, Tank fucking Davis. Man, even down to my own fight, bro. I'm fucking disappointed with this one, bro. This is a fucking disappointment, man. My own boy Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks. What a fucking shambles. 2022, I lost some big fights. And I'm not going to cap for boxing if boxing business is fucked up. I'm not here to do the heavy lifting of capping for these guys. At the end of the day, boxing let me down, bro. Boxing let you down. And it didn't give me the fights that I wanted. I'm going to keep it real. 2022, at the end of the year, man, I'm disappointed. I'm proper disappointed. How the fuck can we not get this Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks, bro? This whole fight was a massive fight for England. And then over the drug cheat, steroids, we don't even know what the fuck happened. Big disappointments. Big disappointments, bro. And then you guys in America. Then you motherfuckers out there in the United States, man. You fuckers in America, man, just doing all talk. Business ain't good. Errol Crawford, pure bullshit. Bullshit, man. Even the Americans, bro, man, they fucking let me down. I can't hear you. Oh, yeah. Yo. Can you hear me, bro? North London in the motherfucking place. Yo, can you hear me, bro? Yo, mic check. Can you hear me? You know, it takes a minute to get this stream going, bro. Yo, mic check. Can you hear me? It takes a minute to get this fucking stream going, you know? They don't like this link from the London boys. I don't know why, man, but they don't like us London boys out here, bro. Mic check, 1, 2. Can you hear me, bro? Yo, North London in the motherfucking place, man. Big up to North London, Tottenham, Islington, Arsenal. North London in the motherfucking place out here, bro. But yo, I'm going to keep it real today, man. This is a rap star that you're not used to. I'm disappointed. I'm big disappointed. That boxing fucked me up in two, mate. It was pure business, and boxing never gave me the fights that I wanted, bro. Pure disappointment after disappointment. And the Americans have let me down as well. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. You American fucking people just doing talks. You just hyped up with Terence Crawford's bank account and this black prime shit, bro. Man, fuck Crawford and Black Prime. I want to see Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. I want to see Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. I'm speaking like a fan. I'm not speaking in no business. I don't give a fuck about their business. I care about my business, so I don't need to worry about another man's business. I don't need to worry about no man's business, bro. The American people let me down, bro. The American people let me down, bro. The American fucking people and the American boxers have let me down, man. That's what I'm saying. The American boxers have been doing a lot of talk. Man, let me go and come out. What the fuck's going on in the mic, man? Fucking mic. But let me tell you this. They don't give a fuck about you. They didn't give us the biggest fights, man. They try and play us like we're some bitches out here. It's like the fans are some bitches out here. You American fans need to step up for this shit, man. Terence Crawford played you, motherfuckers. Terence Crawford played you, motherfuckers. Fuck that shit, man. Crawford's supposed to negotiate that fight and stay negotiating for Errol Spence. But the man took the quick money with Black Prime and ran off. Ain't nobody give a fuck about David Avanesian. Crawford played the whole boxing fucking world. I'm done with the American fucking boxing as well. American boxing's letting me down, bro. American boxing's a fucking letdown. Fuck that shit. How about that? Fuck these guys, bro. Let Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis come up in the game. Man, I'm disappointed for the end of the year, man. I'm disappointed in fucking Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. I'm disappointed with Tyson Fury, bro, and Anthony Joshua. Fucking always talking about the business, blaming each other when it comes to the fucking business. Ain't you people done with these guys going on Twitter and blaming each other? Are you guys looking at the fucking trend here? Have you looked at what these boxers are doing? Look, in the ring, I respect them. But away from the fucking ring, these boxers are playing a game, bro. These boxers are playing a game. They're out there trying to make each other look bad. Which one's telling the truth and which one's not telling the truth? I mean, think about it, man. You're listening to the grown men going back and forth on Twitter. Think about this. And each man is showing he's a businessman. Oh no, business. These guys are muppets for companies. Tyson Fury will do what the promoter tells him to do and what the network tells him to do. Anthony Joshua's going to do what Eddie Hearn and the network is going to want him to do. These guys have made so much noise and no fight. And now it's happening with our cities.
Move. 1, 2. That's it. That's it. That's it. With your arms now. That's it. That's it. Move. 1,
Right, what's going on here, Donny's on the next? Barry's actually going to propose to Sandra. Sandra has been giving Barry mad head lately, and he's whipped, yeah? He's doing this behind the back of the boys, because they know, yeah, they would have cussed him out for proposing to Sandra. Tracy had one job to do, and that was to record it. But she's all over the bloody place. Barry's clocked that she didn't get the footage, so he's going to propose to Sandra again. Oh, for fuck's sake, Tracy! What's going on?
Yo, we should be good now. Tracy the fat cat. Look at Tracy, man. She's all over the place, man. Fucking hell. That's obese, innit? That's obese, bro. But look, keep it real out here. Yo, Tip Bayless, I sent you the fucking link. All right? Oh, sorry. Whoever wants to get the link to help the channel while we're moving, because you know that the stream, it cuts in and out. But look, let me just keep it real, bro. I'm disappointed. The whole British boxing system is looking exposed out here, bro. British boxing 2022 exposed itself. My boy Conor Ben, which has been coming up out there, they fucked it up, bro. Now the people don't give a fuck. British boxing exposed itself, mate. They're disappointed themselves. I'm going to keep it real. We disappointed ourselves. 2022, we exposed boxing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we got to keep it real. Boxing is looking bad out here. All these guys are out there talking, but there's always some bullshit going on behind the scenes. All these motherfuckers are talking out here. And look at these guys in UFC laughing at us. Man, these guys are just talking, never fight each other. These guys are just talking, not fighting each other, bro. And the one fight we could have got in England, fucking Conor Ben gets exposed. British Boxing Board of Control gets exposed. Eddie Hearn gets exposed. And then you guys in America. What the fuck is going on in the United States? You guys are out there talking on people that defining the conversation that Terence Crawford, why he took the 10 million and ran off. Do you really think we came on these boxing channels to talk about other people's businesses? I've got my own businesses to talk about. I'm not interested in how Crawford strategically took $10 million. Fuck Crawford and his $10 million.
Facts.
I'm more interested in a fight. I want people to talk about why the fight is not happening. Why is it that these guys didn't renegotiate that fight? Why is it that Terence Crawford's getting praised for walking away and he's getting praised now for getting $10 million from Black Prime? I never came on these boxing channels to talk about all that. What do you think, Frank?
I agree 1000%. Rap, you're cooking. My only thing to say while listening is that, well, I mean, while we can sit here and cry and get our bucket of tears, you know, the only thing you can do is voice your outrage, voice your opinion, because trust me, man, they listen. I'm telling you, they listen. I've had interactions on social media with boxing people, so they're listening, man. So it's not for nothing if you think it's just speaking into a black hole, you know.
Yeah, but these days, boxing fans are sitting there for 3-4 hours defining why Terence Crawford deserves to take the $10 million and fight for the $10 million with Black Prime. My thing is, if you're a real boxing fan, you would eliminate that conversation and you would be rather interested in why the fight is not fucking happened. And you wouldn't care if Terence Crawford, because of his business choices, is making the fool out of fans and telling them what they need to hear about business. You know,
Yeah.
boxers never came on this in this world as businessmen. They came as boxers.
Well, you know who started that.
I'm not interested in their business, bro. They're all bunch of liars. Crawford's a liar. Errol Spencer's a liar. Tank Davis is a liar. Ryan Garcia's a liar. Tyson Fury's a liar. Anthony Joshua's a liar. I don't believe none of these guys because no man in the world is going to stand there and tell you something what makes him look bad. If he's
Yeah.
a big businessman, he's not going to downplay his own business. They're all blagging it to make themselves look good. They're all a bunch of fucking wannabe businessmen. They're not businessmen. They're just telling you what they're getting told to tell you. Terence Crawford was premeditated in that interview. They premeditated him. They told him what to say. You know, you guys have got to recognize boxers are not these guys when they tell you, oh, this is how the business went and this is why the fight don't go on. They're only going to tell you these things to make themselves look good. But yo, what's happening to the next man? I don't know. Somebody came in the back and he ran off. Probably wasn't ready for the smoke. I'm ready for the smoke. American boxing is letting me down, bro. Even American boxing is sucking dick. Yeah, they're sucking cock. They're telling the fans, talking to the fans like fans are dumb, like fucking idiots. You know, you think anybody's gonna buy Terence Crawford's Black Prime fight? Come on, Frank.
Yeah,
Who's gonna buy that?
his fanboys. You know, someone said, "Oh, Earl's not listening." You think he's not? Why do you think he came on and talked? He had to address it, man. That's what I'm telling you. These guys, they listen, they address it, they tweet it. Why do you think they're going back and forth? It's because they know they're feeling the pressure from their fans. So, that's why Rapstar, you need to speak on these things. I know it's like you have your cup in one hand and your hand out in the other, but that's why it's necessary to speak on these things, because if you don't, then the fanboys are going to take over and this will continue to keep on happening. You understand what I'm saying? Rapstar, if you
Yeah.
weren't here, 3 or 4 fanboys will fill the void. Like Tip Bayless, he'll get on here and want to tell you that his Charlo's fight of the year when it's obviously not. But they'll win because they have a larger voice. It's easier to criticize and complain and cry than to organize your thoughts and form a smart analysis. You know,
I'm just gonna
Rap.
keep.
Yeah, you'd be 10 times more popular if you just picked a side. If you just fanboy for Spence all day, you'll get probably 10,000 more views. If you fanboyed for Crawford, you'll probably get their whole demographic. You know, this is what people want to hear. They want to hear you say that their guy is right. That's what they want.
Look, this is how I feel. Boxing is scamming you in your face. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury using each other's name just for the fights that they're fighting at the moment. You know, business is not getting done, and then people get told, oh, this is why it never got done, because this business wasn't good. Oh, this is why it never got done, because Anthony Joshua, they didn't get this business done in time. We don't give a fuck about the business. They have made all these fans worry about business so they can sidetrack you. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
a
the Floyd
sidetrack.
Mayweather blueprint.
Terence Crawford is sidetracking
Mhm.
people. That's all it is. Go on.
Yeah, it's the shell game, right? It's the pick which hand the nut is in, and you're never gonna pick. They're always gonna pull the card, pull the prize from underneath it. It's a shell game, It's like you set us up to get one fight, and but you're getting Abanesian, so like it. Imagine someone coming to you and telling you that, say, well, you know what, you're just gonna have to like it. And if you don't like it, you're a hater. These are the games that they're playing with you. But half the chat, half the panel eat it up. You hear one guy, oh no, it's Spence's fault, and he has to talk to Al, and then the other guy's like, no, Bud is going to a janky promotion. Like, who's really saying, you know what, fuck them both? Like, I hear you saying it, fuck them both. That's my attitude, but everybody want to pick a side. That's the problem.
Look, man, I respect the fighters for being fighters, but I don't respect the fighters for coming out here trying to be businessmen. I don't want to know about their business. I'm only interested in what they're doing in the ring. Them trying to prove their innocence through their businesses. Every fighter now is trying to expose another fighter saying his business wasn't correct. Right? It's very easy. It's very easy to sidetrack the fans nowadays. Oh man, the business wasn't good enough. Man, stop capping out here. You motherfuckers are earning millions out there, millions. Now, I'm not saying that fighters can't earn what they need to earn, but you're earning 10 fucking million, 15 million, 20 million each, and you're still worried about what you want to tell the fans about your business not being great. My thing is that today's boxing fans have got used to worrying about other fighters' businesses and trying to justify many different topics about fighters' businesses. We have transcended to what the fighters have made you want to talk about. Instead of talking about the fights that need to happen, they sidetrack you to tell you the business is not good enough, right? And at this point, everybody in boxing is way more interested in fighters' bank accounts. Go on, Frank.
Yeah, because they're fighters of they're fans of fighters. They're not fans of boxing overall as a sport of boxing. So if I tell somebody in the chat or on the panel, say, "Hey, man, I'm not really a fan of Bud or Spence. I'm a fan of the fight. You know,
Yeah.
I want to see them fight, but I don't have posters of them. I'm not in their fan club. I'm not arguing for them, and then people won't believe you. They'll say, "Oh no, you're capping for Bud or Spence." It's like, what happened to just being a fan of a sport? You know, if you're a fan of football, you watch football all day, whether it's college, whether it's professional, whether it's high school. You're a fan of a particular sport, and you want to see more of it. So these motherfuckers, they don't watch boxing. I'm telling you, you've heard it yourself. Some of these people that come on here, they don't watch boxing. They wouldn't know b-ball from a crack in the wall, but they can sure as hell talk 10 hours about Tank Davis. Look, man, I'm telling you, this is America. This is Google. You can Google your fucking favorite fighter for 4 hours. You know, this is. But if you want to learn the sport of boxing, you'll know the champions in each weight class. You'll know the belts. But that's hard, man. You know, most people want to be spoon fed. You know what I'm saying, Rat? But this is why I can honestly say I listen to this channel, because I think you're fair to everybody and you give everybody their fair share, even when you shouldn't. There's some people that are just fans of one person and that's all they'll talk about. But you know, at least you're fair on that. But you know, if somebody's listening to rap, you know, I see the panel. You know, they like to hear both sides. I heard people saying the other day, you know, they're like, you know, I want to hear both sides. You know, they don't want to go to a fan channel and hear about one guy, Crawford, and how Spence is the evil guy. I honestly believe most people don't want to hear that, and so they'll keep looking and looking till they find someone that they feel is telling the truth. So, you know, that's why we need places like this so that we can say what the truth is. And if someone has a different opinion, you can always click the link and argue, and that's free game too, you know. But man, you gotta keep pushing, because if you don't, the fanboys will win.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I want to say this, man. I was meant to start this chat live today, but you know, I wanted to go on to my little disappointments of 2022 because I really have been, you know, not been really lifting boxing up, but I'm always elevating and lifting up boxing. But to be honest, they're not giving me enough to lift up the sport. Boxing's letting me down as well. You know what I'm saying? Boxing's become a lot of talk and no action. But what I wanted to do is start the live by saying, keep your prayers up for this brother
Yeah, that
who
was
had a fight
unnecessary.
Saturday night, man. I'm hearing that he's going to be a long recovery, and I'm hoping a good recovery for this guy. You know, so I
Ooh.
want everybody to keep their prayers up. You know, he's took a big, he's been in an induced coma, and we're hoping for his recovery, bro. Because it's not a nice thing, you know.
No, it's a violent, brutal sport, man, and I mean, uh, it's the pain game.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you need competent referees, competent corners. I was gonna say something that sounded really bad, but I'll just keep it to myself as far as what the corner was thinking. But you know what, man? Sometimes these things happen to show us, you know, that we need more precautions, because that fight should have been stopped by the 6th round. I mean, anybody watching it knew that guy was not competing. You know, like, say what you want that Zurdo got his ass whipped, but he didn't get bludgeoned. You know, Like that shows you the level of fighter that he is. Did you watch the Jojo Zepeda fight, Rap?
The JoJo versus Zepeda?
Yeah.
No, I didn't, bro. I didn't catch that
Okay.
fight. About
Well, that guy
highlights.
threw like a record number amount of punches, but that goes to show you uh the level of skill that Jojo Diaz has, because he took a lot of incoming, but he's such a good boxer that he was able to go 12 with that guy. So when we say some of these guys are bums, it's just like, Zerto's not a bum, Jojo's not a bum. Even the guy last night, the guy that got hurt. I mean, he had enough skills. He just was in with the that guy was really fast and quick and strong.
Yeah,
Um,
I just hope, prayers up for this kid, man, who's, got, taking a toll on him, maybe, being in an induced coma is real serious shit, you know. I'm
yeah, he
just,
was
I'm just saying, keep the prayers up, because the last thing I want to hear is something bad happens to this guy, because David Morrell Jr., he never expected to do this to the guy. You know what I mean? He didn't want no damage on the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not like that. I mean, his goal is to go stop the guy, but you don't ever want to see somebody. It's a sport, it's competition. Everybody signed up for the same things, but that's why you have a commission, you have doctors on the side, and your corner. I could say, I've worked corners before, and you don't let a guy get hurt. Your number one job is to protect your fighter at all costs. Um, it's better to stop it too early than too late.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it moving. Yeah, let's
Okay.
keep talking about what we're talking about now. Prayers up for that kid. You know what I'm saying? But look, this Terence Crawford, Errol Spence thing, yeah, going on Twitter, going back and forth in business. Now everybody's talking about their business. One side business wasn't that good, the other side's not good. Do you think now the fighters also know that this has become conversation for the fans? So they give them things to talk about, because at the end of the day, now this has become topics on social media. Social media will talk about this business going back and forth on Twitter, then actually saying, you know what, both of you just fuckers need to fight. Instead of you guys trying to tell us how your business works, how about you did your business behind the fucking scenes so that nobody needs to know about this shit? Real businessmen, right, Frank? I do business. They don't go and expose business. If business works, they do business and they keep it quiet and they real business.
That part, Rap, and that's what what I said that
That's
on
fake business, what Terence Crawford's
oh
talking about. Terence Crawford is showing you fake business. But go on, Frank.
yeah, no, I mean, I don't know why anybody hasn't said that. I said that somewhere else, and they laughed me out of the building. They said, "Oh, what do you mean he's burning bridges?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, why didn't he just, if he didn't want to fight, just be quiet, say, okay, we couldn't work it out. I'm gonna move on, but let's revisit it. Boom, it's over. I mean, I think you can get past it, but you don't do that unless you want to burn that bridge. That's what it seems like to me. It's like, why are you
Yeah,
blowing it
but
up?
doesn't that show you that these guys are the worst businessmen? Now look, I got businesses. If I saw a man would be exposing other people's business on Twitter, then another guy comes on Twitter and exposing his business, I would think to myself that these people are not real business. These people are
Yeah, I
these
mean,
people are fake businessmen. These people are social media businessmen. You know what I
yeah,
mean? This is
because
all
I,
social
yeah.
media businessmen, bro.
Yeah, it's just like Rap. If me and you are talking and let's say I said, "Hey Rap, can you do a collab with me? I want to do some work." And then I say something, I say I'm gonna give you $25 to do a show with me, Rap. You're like, "Okay, cool, Frank." And then I just start talking shit about you online. Like, "Oh, Rap, he charges this." Wouldn't that be exposing you?
Exactly. I would never want to do business with Terence Crawford.
Yeah,
You
but
know
you're
what
gonna
I
be
mean?
like,
I
"Fuck that
wouldn't
guy,
want to do
Frank." Like,
business with Terence Crawford and maybe even Errol Spence, because I would say to myself, these guys are not fucking smart people. These guys are out there exposing. You don't ever shit on another man in business unless you're an amateur. Unless you want to be a guy that people think, okay, he's got a loud mouth.
yeah, unless you
Terence
want to blow the
is not
deal up.
real
That's
business.
why you do it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
You know,
Terence Crawford
it's
ain't
like,
this kind of. Sorry, go on. Go on.
yeah, it's like when I send a meal back, I don't say, "Hey, you fucking bitch, you fucked my meal up," because I that bitch is gonna spit in it. You know, I say, "Hey, man, you know what? I that's not what I ordered. Do you mind remaking it?" And even then, I'm skeptical. You know, but I would not blow a spot up unless I plan to never come back. You know what I'm saying? It's like when dating a girl, there's a limit you can go to where you can go back, you can't go back. If you're done with her, then you say you throw everything out of the book, right? And you expose all her business, um, because you don't plan on going back, right? I mean, that's in any walk of life. When you leave a job, if you feel like you hate that place, but you might need the reference, what do, Rap?
Yeah.
But if you're like, what, fuck this job, you cuss the bus out, cuss the boss out before you leave, right? You blow that shit up because you're never going back. And to me, that's what it sounded like.
Yo, keep cooking, bro. Let me fix this shit.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. It just like everything about it was wrong. And anybody who could sit there and think that what Bud exposing, because that's what came out, right? Like, look at everything that happened. It was Bud exposing the deal, and then you get Oscar saying exposing. It's like everybody said, okay, this is the time to go after it. And now, Adrian Broner said he was exposing. You have all these YouTubers exposing Al Heyman and PBC, and that was all due to Bud Crawford.
Yeah, I mean, we got to keep it real, yeah? It is disappointing, though. You think about the disappointments we've had in boxing, bro. Straight from my side of the country, exposed. First of all, the Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks fight, that was a big fight. That fight got shut off due to things that they're saying with Conor Benn and the drugs in his system that we don't know yet what's going on. Right? So that was a big disappointment for 2022. Big disappointment with this fight. It's a big fight, man. They hyped us up about this fight, and the business of boxing in England got exposed. It did. Eddie Hearn got exposed. The British Boxing Board of Control got exposed. And that was a fucking scandal. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it looks bad. We've had to cover it up. We got to cover this shit up, Frank. And I'm telling you
Yeah,
something, Frank. They're gonna spend a lot of money to cover it up. They're gonna have to.
yeah, but it's business as usual. I mean, how
Yeah.
long is Bank out? How long is I'm sorry, the other guy, Connor Ben? How long is he out? Did they already do
No,
that?
they haven't done nothing yet. Conor Ben's trying to find ways or science get his employed scientist to prove his innocence. Now they're gonna make a big Conor why he's innocent.
Yeah. Well, they should. I mean, if he feels he's innocent, then he should fight his heart out. Nah, I'm just saying this just from his perspective, right? As the man in his position, that's what he should do. Um,
But that was a
but
big disappointment coming towards the last quarter of boxing. Shit started going downhill from there. Because we really have had a disappointing year, really. If you think about it, this year has been maybe more disappointing than the COVID years. At least in the COVID, we got some big fights. This year, we lost this fight. Then we never got the fight with this Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. It was all talk. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua was big talk. And now we're getting Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm all right with the fight. No, I'm not. That's a fucking disappointment, bro. That's a big disappointment from Derek Chisora. Come on, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, you're robbing the bank. Come on, bro. We're just capping for these fighters now. Tyson Fury's robbing people with the Derek Chisora fight, bro. And people, you know what they're going to say, Frank? Rap star, it's because the business wasn't correct.
Hmm.
That's all I hear 2022 is the business was not correct. And
And
now
that's
you're
not
going to
what you
get the
want to
same.
hear.
Yeah, but Frank, you're going to get the same now. The same fight they're negotiating now with Tank and Ryan. Remember my words. It's all fucking because the business is not correct. Everything is a disappointment because it comes down to the business. How the fuck are we going to do the heavy lifting on our channels to embrace boxing all the time when boxing is capping? Isn't it a letdown? Like, I'm talking for the fans today. I'm not talking for, oh, I know the people in business. When I talk to Rick Glazier, when I talk to WBC, when I talk to Punch Drunk, when I talk to all the people in the sport, which is a business, then my mind becomes, I start to think about a different side of boxing, why they do these things, right?
Right.
But I got to talk now for the fans. Fans are going to leave this sport, bro, if this carries on. If this keeps going on and you keep losing the biggest fights in America, like Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, then fans are going to slowly leave this sport, I'm telling you. They're going to watch YouTube boxing. They're going to watch MMA more because you guys are not fighting each other. So what the fuck is it worth everybody staying in the sport?
Everything you said makes a lot of sense. I mean, with that attitude, it's like you're making me like question, like, damn, Rap
It's
is
like
right. Why the
becoming
fuck am I even
WWE.
watching this bullshit? You had me questioning Rap. Like, why the fuck am I listening to channels and watching boxing and going out of my way to talk to these other guys when we're never gonna agree and we're just gonna fight, you know? It's pretty depressing.
I'm just saying it's a disappointment, bro. I've been sitting here doing as much as I can to try and, not say how I feel. But this is the truth how I feel. That Rap Star is disappointed that these guys are really now playing a game with with this sport. They're all out there cashing out, man. They're just cashing out checks. Even though you can get more money for undisputed fight, Terence Crawford taking less money for cashing out. That's the truth, Frank. I don't care what anybody says. That's the truth. Terence Crawford took guaranteed money, less money, because he don't give a fuck as long as he gets paid. So what are these fighters coming into the sport today? If my son is a boxer, which one of my sons is training sometimes,
Oh,
I don't
wow.
want him to be a boxer maybe, but he trains. If my son is watching Crawford, Tank Davis, and all these guys which are fighting for money, Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, no legacy, all money, all money. I don't care if the business is not good enough. Do you think those kids, the ones that are growing up today, are going to be more warriors or they're going to be businessmen?
Oh, well, obviously they're gonna be more businessmen. I mean, if that's the way the sport is going, which Floyd, that's the first time I remember hearing about it is Floyd Mayweather, you know, talking about the business of boxing and why he makes the fights that he makes and why that Pacquiao wasn't gonna happen. That's kind of when I remember all this talk starting to happen, and it's just carried on over from there with the start of the PBC. Then it really took off, and we started not getting these fights. So I'm not blaming them, but when this type of talk has started to overtake, like what you're talking about the actual sport of boxing, right?
Yeah.
It's like your feelings are tied to feeling overwhelmed with, man, why do we keep talking about this bullshit? Like the negotiations and the A side, B
Fucking,
side,
yeah.
and people start to feel like, damn, it's pointless. It's like spinning a web. It's pointless to follow the sport. Um, you start to become disillusioned. So yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, like I said, you're telling me this, and I'm starting to like feel what you're saying, and it has me questioning it.
No, I'm just looking at it from a man's perspective that I always talk to these people in the business of boxing, and they've tried to convert me to constantly understand that, look, rap star, the boxing business is very, you know, it's not going to allow it. It's not going to allow it. They're going to have to do this. They're going to have to do that. You know, I'm kind of sick of it because I've got my own business to think about, Frank. Right? And now business has become a big thing about the boxing talk.
There it is, the boxing talk. Yeah,
The boxing talk is business talk now.
right.
It's not really legacy talk anymore. It's not about teaching the fighters to go and become something. And the true fighter would even take less money to become a real number one undisputed guy. He would take less money to become the man because what do they say? Legacy, then comes the money. Can you imagine if Terence Crawford took the Errol Spence fight and won the fight, if he believed in himself, if he believed he could beat Errol Spence and he took the opportunity? Do you know that Terence Crawford will then have the name, all the belts? He'll be a legacy of legacy. He will get sponsors. He'll get other money coming in. And now he'll become a minimum $10, $15 million before starting fighter because he's the man who cleaned up everything. You can't deny that guy. He could have reached the status of the number one status, and now he is not going to be that guy. So for me, he took the paycheck. I understand boxing's all about business, but when they throw it in your face, Frank, and they teaching you that the fans which are younger than us, the young guys, yeah, man, it's about the bag, bro. This is all I see in America, fans fighting each other. It's all about the bag, bro. Crawford didn't give a fuck, man. He got to get that bag. They didn't give him the bag, bro. They didn't give him the guaranteed bag. Man, you got to bet on yourself. If you think you're the number one guy, you would bet on yourself. Because you know if you beat that guy, the world is at your feet. But these guys don't want to take the risk, bro.
And everything you said is true. I detected no lies. And so, you know, what as you're saying that, what I'm thinking is, so what does it say about the fan though? Because you're only getting what's they say? What's like, you ever watch trash TV like Jerry Springer
Nah. Yeah, I used to watch.
or TMZ? You know, like I guess
I watch TMZ sometimes.
okay. And people say, well, it's trash TV. Well, guess what? People, that's what they want. They're only giving us what we want. And that's why I try to talk about these false narratives and why it's necessary you speak up on it, because they're giving people what they want. There is a lot of these fans that are not fans of boxing. That's
Yeah,
the point of it.
let me just tell this to Peter. Peter, Haney has got the world at his feet right now. Haney was now the guy that nobody respected. Haney was the paper champion. Haney was the email champion. And today, you can't take nothing away from Devin Haney because Devin Haney is in power. And let me tell you what power Devin Haney became in. Now that Devin Haney took a risk, he will make the 10 million because he betted on himself. He came from a $3 million bet to become a $10 million fighter. He is not going to fight Lomachenko less than 10 million. Now Devin Haney is the A side. He was not the A side. He's the A side against Lomachenko. The Matrix has to listen to Devin Haney. And Devin Haney's a young guy. We're talking about Terence Crawford at 35 years old. Stop capping for Crawford, bro, and his business. Terence Crawford had an opportunity to stay in those negotiations, Frank. He could have renegotiated and kept going back and forth. But Terence Crawford chose to get that quick bag and move on to the opportunity that was first for him. He did not give a fuck at that time when the bags came to him. He didn't give a fuck about the legacy.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's the problem, is that you'll have people, there's at least 30% of boxing fans that are condoning it and arguing for it and really putting their their efforts behind it.
Yeah. Yo, what's
Um,
happening, Master?
What's going on? How you doing, brother?
Man, we're good, brother. It's nice to have you. I never met you, so can you introduce yourself, brother?
Yeah, Mastermind. Remember we were talking last week about the big fight, the big fight
Okay.
last week. Yeah, I was telling you, man, we was the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I
Mm.
told you that was gonna be the greatest fight of all time. That's why they
Yes.
can't make it happen. And
Yes.
remember, I told you, I think I said if Crawford could beat Spence and then go up and beat Charlo, he would be known as the greatest fighter
Yeah.
ever to put
And you
on
know
gloves.
why I feel disappointed as a fan that now
Hmm.
Crawford ain't gonna get the opportunity to do that now because of the business.
Yep.
And I'm
But
saying, as fans, yeah, we're getting
yep.
all these people coming over here trying to explain to me the business. I'm saying that we got to remember what this whole journey of boxing, what transition is going on now. That if you can see what's happening in front of your eyes, the new generation is going to be worse than Crawford and Errol Spence.
It's about legacy.
Thank you, brother. Please
It's
talk,
about
brother.
legacy.
I
Remember,
do.
Crawford told you to your face, he doesn't need Spence. My career would be good. So he is avoiding it. He told you, I don't need Spence to fulfill my legacy. Spence told you, I need Crawford. I want to be undisputed. So that tells you everything you need to know. Crawford told you, I don't need Spence. So he's not seeking it. He's just using him as leverage to make other fights. He don't want to go through the truth. He'd rather tell a lie.
Now, what I'm saying is this is not good for the boxing generation coming up. This is not good for the people which are supporting Crawford in his bank account and saying, you know what, Errol Spence never gave Crawford the best deal though, rap star. Errol
You're right.
Spence never gave him the best deal though, rap star. And to be honest, Crawford wanted to take the best deal. And you can't you can't put a man down trying to feed his family. I said to people, yo, let me say this, Master. I said to people, I ain't come to this boxing to watch boxing to see people's bank accounts. I haven't come here to try and support the man's money. I've come here to see the biggest fights, to support my sport, to see
Yep.
legacy, to tell all the young boys in my gym, because I trained fighters before and I push fighters. And I don't want my fighters thinking in their brain they're fighting for money because they're going to lose before they get to legacy.
Yep.
So the
That's why you
today's
got Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a money fighter. He's a money fighter. Tank
Yeah, the
Davis.
shit don't look good, Master. The way that these
He
guys are supporting Terence Crawford's moves and blaming Al Heyman and blaming Errol Spence. Let me ask you this. You know, when I was a young guy, yeah, the trainer, there was one thing they said, you got to bet on yourself if you believe in yourself. And if you bet on yourself, money will come like crazy.
exactly.
If Terence Crawford believed in himself, he would have stayed in that negotiation and taken his less cut. Because
Yep.
if he thought he can beat Errol Spence, yeah, he knows in the next fight he's the boss. He's the A side. Everything's gonna be on his terms. So if he believes it, he would achieve it because his mind believes it.
And remember, Lennox Lewis took the short end of the stick against Evander Holyfield and got a draw. He took the low end because he knew he could whoop Holyfield ass. Devin Haney took the low end because he knew he could whoop Cambose's ass.
That's
Yep.
facts. That's facts. And today, Devin Haney got the whole lightweight division at his feet.
Right.
The same guy that they were doubting, the same guy that they were calling email champ is now the boss when it comes to anybody in that division.
Right.
Yeah. So now he
Right.
took less money, but now he gonna make way more money than any man in that division who fights him. Now Tank Davis is a different story because Tank Davis is staying in one side and they've built him as a brand.
He's in witness protection program right now.
Yeah.
He's in the witness protection program. They're not going to let anybody touch him. Um, Crawford is avoiding Spence because of how close of a fight it is. Spence don't mind getting dirty, but Crawford is gonna try to get out with that O intact without going against Spence. Spence is not on his mind. He just using for leverage. Spence needs Crawford for his legacy. Crawford doesn't need Spence. This is the mind frame that's keeping it for him.
Yeah, and I always say that Spence even told him the other day that he gave him everything he wanted, and if he doubts anything, then put up the contract, put up
Yep.
a draft. Errol Spence told Terence Crawford that he gave him everything that he wanted at the end of that contract because they told him that this is what they did for him, and Terence
Mm-hmm.
Crawford took the opportunity that gave him a quick guaranteed purse.
Mm-hmm.
People can't even see that.
Yeah, and see, like you said, Lennox Lewis took the fight with Holyfield because he knew he couldn't beat him. He took the low end 10 million. Remember, they gave him a low ball off,
Mm.
but he knew he was gonna whoop his ass, and it was a draw, but he came back and got the victory in the rematch. Devin Haney took the low end because he knew he was gonna whoop that ass overseas. Yeah.
Yeah, Frank, what do you think, Frank? Master believes that you got to really recognize that Terence Crawford is the man who walked away from this contract. He's the one who walked away. Well, Frank will be back. But yo, my thing is this,
Mm-hmm.
man. People are very confused in this situation because the fighters have come out and started to blame each other in the business wasn't good enough. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fans now explaining to each other why the business wasn't good enough. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're realizing that the fights that we were talking about, which was even Tyson Fury, AJ, the business never happened. Now we're hearing
AJ
Tank,
Wilder.
yeah, AJ Wilder, business. Now we got the Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. Now we're hearing that Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is because of business. This fight is on a block. This fight's on a blockage because promoters can't get this fight to be on a split stream. They
I
can't get
think we should,
Showtime and DAZN to
but I
share
think
the
we should
stream.
root against it. I really do. I think we should root against this fight because let's hope that the Ryan Garcia Tank fall apart because
Mm.
all that's gonna do is keep Tank in the witness protection program. No, make him fight somebody that's worthy, like a Shakur, a Vasil Lomachenko, or Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia has not earned a Tank Davis fight. They have. Vasil has earned one. Shakur has earned one. Devin Haney earned one. What has Ryan did to get a Tank fight?
You know what? The fans are not even angry anymore, bro. Fans are disappointed now, Master. The fans are
Mm-hmm.
getting disappointed now. Now it's disappointment. Now it's where like you can't even cat for these guys no more.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
before we used to like because we love the sport. So we're gonna fight for this fucking sport.
Yep.
But they're not fighting for the sport, so they're trying to show us business. It's getting disappointing, brother. It is,
And
man.
like this is like you said, we got the best boxers alive today. We got the best. We got Lomachenko. We got Tyson Fury. We got Wilder. We got AJ. We got the greatest fighters of all time today. You never seen nothing like it. Terrence Crawford, one of the best fighters you ever seen in your life. Earl Spence, body puncher. Do you remember Tito Trinidad?
Oh, come on, man.
He would take your head off with a left hook, smoking Joe Frazier. He fight like Joe Frazier left hook.
Yeah.
Just remember that. I want you to remember that you are living at the best time of boxing. These are the greatest fighters. But Tank Davis won't show you what he's made of because he don't respect the titles. He don't respect belts.
Yeah.
He just let his draw. He let his pants hang down on the floor because he don't wear belts. Yep.
I hear you, bro.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it's just a shame that You've been in the sport how long? How long you been watching this sport, brother?
Since 1952. That's the first fight I went to. Rocky Marciano.
What? You don't look old like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, I've been old Blue Eyes. You remember old Blue Eyes?
I
Frank
don't know,
Sinatra.
bro, but you don't look like a man who's been in 1952.
1952. I went to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano. That was my first fight I attended.
And you
And
was at that fight, yeah?
yes, I seen it. Smoking Joe Frazier, Ali, 73. At it, Madison Square Garden. I mean, oh my God, it was crazy. I've been watching every fight since, but that was the first fight I ever started watching was Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis.
I hear you. I hear you. So you've been watching the sport for a long time, way before. I mean, you're talking about over 30 years before I've been born. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Ray Robinson. I seen the great Ray Robinson fight. Uh, Archie Moore. You remember Archie Moore? I seen Archie Moore fight. I seen these guys. I knew when Rocky Marciano died. He was only 32 years old, 32, and he was retired. Don't, don't you know they offered Marciano $1 million to fight, to come back and fight? They
Ali?
offered him $1 million. No,
For
no,
what?
no. Ali wasn't back then. He didn't even make it to Ali. He died at 32. But
Yeah.
the next champion at the Marciano, they offered Marciano $1 million. First they offered him a half a million, then they offered him $1 million. I respect the guy because he didn't even want to go, and then he died. So it looked suspicious, but God probably just took his life. But that looked very suspicious because he was a genuine man. He did not want to fight after 32, and I think that's a good age to retire.
Hey,
Spence,
look, man, I want to
you're,
give you a shout out. There's
mhm.
some people saying in the Vigilante Williamson, my subscriber says, bro, you have aged gracefully. You're talking about times that we've not been even thought of. I can't believe you told me you was attended at a 1952 boxing match. Bro, you don't even look a day older than 50 yourself.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, thank you. I'm trying. I just came from the. I'm at the airport now. Just
Uh,
came from DR, Dominican Republic. Looking at some boxers over there in the Dominican Republic, and they talented. All these guys talented.
so
They
what do
got.
you do in the sport yourself? What are you, what is your role in the sport of boxing?
Oh, I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan.
Mm,
I'm a fan, but we get into all the sports. The tennis, we big
yeah.
on and boxing. We big on solo sports where you don't need a team, you just need one person. We like them sports.
Yeah, so being a man who's been there like before our time, there's only a couple of guys who's probably been in your time. I think one of them guys is Peter Von Ox. He's a man who's been always talking about these fighters that you talk about.
Mhm.
Um, we're talking about John McSmith. He's a guy who talks about fighters like that. You know, that's before my time. And what have you seen different today to the days that you used to watch boxing? Did you see a different breed of a man? And do you see a different kind of a man today in the sport? Is a man of today too much manipulated in the business, whereas the man of yesterday was more interested in the legacy? How do you feel about that?
Well, you got Tyson Fury. He's Muhammad Ali of today because he is the big guy who you fights like a middleweight, uses his legs, jab. That's why he's so successful. But he can get you out there with the muscle if he feels like it. But that's why he's so successful. Oh man, he pops that jab. He get it from the great Ali. That's why Ali gave people problems. He was a big old dude fighting like a middleweight. You know what I mean? Too many angles. You know what I mean? So you see Caleb Plant, he's a throwback fighter. You know what I mean? But then you got the new guys like Tank Davis and Wilder. They have the ability to always be in a fight, and they have their one hitter quitter, so they can catch you at any time from 1 to 12. I get that to Tank Davis and Deontay Wilder. They're always dangerous. The whole 12 rounds. I like those type of fighters. Just one hitter could take you all the way out for the whole count. Very rare. Very rare. Few
Very
guys.
rare in boxing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you know about? Let's talk some history, bro, because I like talking to people which have been around the game for years. Now, what do you think about this man, Jack John? What? No, this man, which was the he was one of the first guys to be in the sport. O'Sullivan. I
Yeah.
forgot his first name. Let
Oh,
me.
so yeah.
Yeah, O'Sullivan was one of the first guys to make it in the sport. But then you had the guys like Jack Johnson, which was the one of the black guys who made it in the sport and made a name for himself. Like these are the kind of history that I've learned. O'Sullivan was the man who made a reputation internationally and made it more of a. But the black man that I all ever done research on is Jack
Mm-hmm.
Johnson.
Oh
This
yeah, he the
man
best to it.
transitions the white domination controlled by the white black man, but he transited to the sport where so many men, multicultural men, you know, because Jack Johnson is a man, yeah, that that he was a man. I think he was the first ever black man to date a white woman. White woman at that time. But trying to change the laws, you know. Now I don't know that was a black man that represented and all over the world was this guy, Jack Johnson, bro. Yo, 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 mic check one. What's going on? Sorry, guys, I got taken out of the stream. Fucking got technical issues going on out here, bro. What's going on? What's going on? Yes, Master, I don't know what
My
happened there,
bad.
bro.
Sorry about that, man. My phone went kaput dead on it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit. O'Sullivan and Jack Johnson, like you said, these are the pioneers of the sport.
But what can you tell
And
me about Jack Johnson, bro?
well, he was dominating, and you know those times it was heavily mob based. So he was whooping a lot of them, but then a lot of times the mob owned you. He was on like you see how the Brooklyn Nets own Kyrie Irving. They own Jack Johnson, so he couldn't really get down. He couldn't get down like he wanted to. He had to throw a few fights, because it's mob oriented. You understand that about the mob being a part of the boxing. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, yeah. Now I said Yeah, the mob had a hold on Jack Johnson, so he could only do so much.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I heard that he had to play the games right. I heard he had to play it where there was a few fights that had to get fixed.
and he was heavily in the interracial relationships with
Yeah, and
women.
I heard that that was kind of illegal at that time.
Yes, for
So
taking them over state
he
lines.
dated he because so he dated a white lady when shit like that was illegal. Yeah.
Yeah, several, and they got him for taking them over state lines, like you said. The laws. So that's why they destroyed him with those laws. They destroyed him.
Yeah,
His demise was because of that. When they finally took him out, he was he had his preference, and he wasn't going to be stopped in his preference, regardless of the loss.
yeah. I think having you over here, we must speak about one of your heroes. Knowing that you're a
Hmm.
man who's been watching boxing since the 50s, I think the man that really captured the world by imagination, because Jack Johnson was a man in history which was way before our time, and possibly for way before your time. So,
Hmm.
you know, the man that everybody really wants to speak about, that people base boxing and the love of why they fell in love with the sport, is a no other than a man like Cassius Clay, which
Yep.
then became Muhammad Ali.
Yep. And remember, you skipped over one though. The next legend, it was Jack Johnson. Then it was Joe Louis.
Yeah, no, there was Jersey Joe Wilcott, Joe
Hmm.
Lewis. These
Rocky
guys,
Marciano.
Sugar Ray Robinson was the man who really made
Yep.
it. Like he's today still the pound for pound for people which are under 30 years old.
Hmm.
People which
Hmm.
are under 30 years old who talk boxing say that Sugar Ray Robinson's number one pound for pound when they
Yep.
weren't even there at the time.
Yep.
But we're talking about a fighter that really took
Uh huh.
boxing to another level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He made it. He's the Joe Namath. He's the Joe Namath of boxing. Joe Namath took the Ali magic and put it in the NFL. Remember, before Joe Namath, the football players was born. Before Ali, the boxers was born. They didn't have any no charisma. Nobody had charisma.
Now I'm
Yep.
going to ask you a man-to-man question. Ali was just there before my time again. Is Muhammad Ali the greatest boxer or the one of the greatest person? Now I'm gonna tell you why I think that.
I
Is
think
he
he
one
the
of the
greatest.
greatest people, or was he
I
one of the greatest boxers?
think he one of the best, greatest boxers. Um, his resume speaks for. He has the best resume. Him, when you put his resume up against Oscar De La Hoya, Archie Moore, um, he has a great resume, man. He's one of the best boxers. He beat the best, and he lost to the best, but he beat the best too. Also, I'll put him as both the one of the best people and best boxers. But his resume is look. He beat Sonny Liston, then he beat uh, Joe Frazier, then he beat uh, George Foreman. So he won in all three eras. That's what make him the greatest boxer, heavyweight style. You beat Sonny at first, then you beat Joe after they suspended you, then you beat George Foreman, the undefeated knockout king, George Foreman. So yes, greatest boxer, I think.
Right.
Boxing skills over the person.
So he lost also multiple fights. He lost to Frazier, Spinks. He lost other fights he lost. Any, do you remember any other fights he lost?
Yeah, he lost Frazier, Spinks, Ken Norton, Larry
Ken
Holmes,
Norton.
Trevor Burbitt.
Yeah, and
Larry
then
Holmes,
Trevor Ball,
Trevor Burbitt.
Larry. Yeah, those were at the
So he
end. Yeah,
lost. Yeah, he lost the Hall of Famers. That's
yeah,
what make him great. See, it's
yeah.
not bad. If I lose to Tyson Fury, Lennox Lewis, and Klitschko and Wilder, that's four losses. But look who I lost to. That's like Sean Porter. Sean Porter still going to the Hall of Fame because look who he lost to. K.O. Brooks, Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford. He lost to all Hall of Famers.
All right, let's see what the people say. Elijah says, "Did it? Ali did it in during the times when everything they were way more important. Ali is the greatest. Punch Drunk Boxing in the building says Ali is the greatest. He's the only one that claimed it. Nobody wanted to be the greatest, and he was the only one who wanted to be the greatest."
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is that he was a fighter that used to tell everybody, "I am the greatest," and go in the ring. He had the confidence to tell you in your face, "I am the greatest. I am the man. There ain't nobody who's a greater man than me." Like Muhammad Ali used to minimize people before they even used to get in the ring.
Yeah, mentally, mental warfare. And remember, these people, they destroyed Ali by letting him fight. Foreman should have been his final fight, sir. Foreman should have been his final fight. They kept him in there too long. That's why his faculties failed. You don't once if somebody loves you, you don't use them until they not worthy. Just you look out for them. He needed somebody to take care of him, sir, and they didn't. They took advantage of him and went after the money. Trevor Burbick, Larry Holmes. This
So,
caused too much different brain damage to his head.
so let me break this down then. We say we know he's a great human being, and he's a man that's a legend as a man. There is no conversation or debate in that. He's a man that comes once in 100 years. It's Muhammad Ali. There's no debate. But in the ring, when he was Clash's Clay, when he was this guy, he really was very special. He had the speed, the feet. He had a lot going for him when he was a younger fighter as well. And
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just saying, a lot of people say the Phantom Punch was a fixed fight. That Sonny Liston took a dive because of the mob related situations.
Right.
But what we do know that in the two fights, Muhammad Ali was just superior in skills. Now, Muhammad Ali became another man. When Clash's Clay was coming up, he was really a guy who really came to show the world why he was different. But when he became Muhammad Ali, and after the things that happened when they said that they're going to take his license, and then he got a little bit older, I gotta be honest with you. When you say he's the greatest fighter, this Muhammad Ali, when he took a lot of punches, he was such a great man that he would fight anyone. He had the
Mm-hmm.
heart. He had the heart to beat anybody. But he took a
Mm-hmm.
lot of punishment. He wasn't like Floyd Mayweather. He wasn't like Pernell Whitaker. Those guys were very smart in their defensive skills,
Mm-hmm.
right? He was
Yep.
more. He was a fighter that took a lot of punishment. So let's be honest. When he did the rope dope, he took a lot of punishment in the rope dope.
Mm-hmm. But he only got 5 losses in 60 plus fights. That's not bad. And
No,
he
I
lost to
I hear that.
all only bum he lost to was Trevor Burbick. All the rest of them Hall of Fame. He lost to Joe Frazier. He lost to Ken Norton and uh Joe Frazier, Ken Norton. Who else you say he lost to?
Spinks.
Yeah, Spink. There it is.
Yeah,
Gold medalist. He's
yeah.
a gold medalist. So you can't hold that against him. That's a good. But
Yeah.
yeah. Only
But
reason.
he took a lot of punishment, bro. He took a lot of
Yep.
punishment.
And he shouldn't have been fighting at that time. He had Parkinson's disease. You don't put a guy with Parkinson's in the ring. That's not that's on his handlers. He shouldn't be blamed for that. That's his handlers, and they was just pimping his name, pimping his name. His handlers took advantage of Muhammad Ali name.
And do you think
He should not
Muhammad
have been
Ali?
in the ring.
Do you think Muhammad Ali did that rope dope because he had no choice by that time? He was a
Yep.
limited fighter, and the reason why he did that rope dope because he had to fight with his limits and maximizing what he can do out of it.
The same reason Mayweather did the rope a dope against Maidana. He
Yeah.
had no choice. Your
Mm.
opponent puts you up against the ring. He wouldn't have fought Maidana like that because he almost lost the fight. He had to fight like that because Madonna was all over him. Ali had to fight like that because George Foreman was all over him. And he's too old. He's 33, 34. His legs can't get around that ring like when he was Cassius Clay. He too big and he old. He can't dance around, float like a butterfly no more. He got to land on them ropes. But it's cool, just like Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis had that big tough fight with Klitschko and he retired like a man. Everybody wanted him to give Klitschko a rematch. No, he don't deserve a rematch. You win, you get out the game because your brain is you. Lennox Lewis owe himself retirement more than he owed Klitschko a rematch. You better believe that. And Klitschko needed that rematch. You remember that? He needed that rematch. But Lennox Lewis don't want to be retarded out here, right?
You know the difference with Muhammad Ali is, yeah, he never just
Mm-hmm.
shook. He never shook up the world once. He shook the world more than nearly 3 times. Like he shook
Yep.
the world. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. When Muhammad Ali shook the world with Sonny Liston, he said, "I told everybody, I'm the greatest." Like just the way he captured and shook up the world with Sonny Liston. But when
Mm-hmm.
he did this, I watched this, and I went and done all my history, and I went and watched the videos. I watched the lead up. I watched how Muhammad Ali was sitting at home with his kids, and I think he had Layla Ali on his lap, and I've read his books, and Muhammad Ali was sitting there, and he was watching the fight against George Foreman, which was knocking everybody out. George Foreman was a man at that time in his young days, which was a beast. People were scared of George Foreman, bro.
Mm-hmm.
People were
40-0.
scared of George Foreman, bro.
40 wins, 37 knockouts, 0 losses.
This
That's what that
man,
fight.
listen, people say today George Foreman would knock Deontay Wilder the fuck out, bro.
Mm-hmm.
People say George Foreman is a man that can easily beat, even if he had a good day in those days, he can beat Anthony Joshua Furies. This guy, George Foreman, was the real deal, bro. And
Yep.
the way that he knocked out Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali was sitting there, bro. And he was they and he was looking and he knew that this was a tough fucking deal.
And never forget how they did Anthony Joshua in America. This
Oh
man
yeah.
is a guest. He's a guest in America coming to New York City. He's a guest. Treat him like one. You don't give him no messed up water so he come out on the walkway. You took his loss from him against a goal. He took his loss. He came out there. Remember, he was having problems on the walk-in. You remember that?
Yeah.
So don't forget, Anthony Joshua, that's not real. He really is an undefeated fighter. They just took it from him from in another country. He would never have been getting his ass whooped by Usyk if they didn't cheat him in America. He got cheated in America, treated like a slave. Remember?
By Andy
They
Ruiz.
yes, they put something in him. He came out and he wasn't himself. That's why his father was upset. So I don't want y'all to forget over there
Yeah, but
that this man is
what
a
I'm
good
saying
man.
is though Anthony Joshua made no excuses. He said he lost fair and square at the end, and
Yep.
he came back and he got his revenge. And he did it fair and square. Whether he had excuses or they felt like they got set up, there was not really. He never really made a scene. Nothing like
No,
Deontay Wilder or said anything like that,
exactly.
right?
And that's why Wilder, remember, Wilder knew what they did to Joshua. That's why he used that excuse. They
But
didn't
look, let
do
me.
it to they didn't do it to Wilder. They did it to Joshua. Wilder just came in there too big. He should never have bulked up. Remember, I told you he should have
Mm.
fought Fury at 214, 212. You
If he
don't
wanted
fight
to
a big
stay,
guy.
if he wanted to have longevity in that fight, yeah.
Yes, that's why he lost. He used an excuse. There is no excuse. You put on 25 pounds and got
Man, look,
beat.
let me tell you this, bro. There's only one man who can beat Fury, and that's Deontay Wilder. There's no other
Mhm.
man in this world right now who can beat a man like Tyson Fury.
What about who?
There's no man who can beat Fury. Right now, ain't nobody can beat Tyson Fury, bro. The only man who can maybe had a chance was Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder got the punch, the X Factor punch, but just because of his grit and his belief. But ain't no other man beating Tyson Fury, bro. The only one man who had that chance was Wilder, and he can't do it. And I think Wilder can beat other people, but he can't beat Tyson Fury. That's my opinion on that. He just can't beat Fury. Fury's got his number anytime. But look, let me say this. This is what really shook up the world. This is what shook up the world, bro. When Muhammad Ali and the world, go watch these videos. I've done my homework. Go watch the documentary. When Muhammad Ali had the whole world against him, even every person in the media said that he can't beat George Foreman. After the long layoff, there was no way he could beat George Foreman, bro. Muhammad Ali was going in as an underdog. This was Ali at the end of his career, bro. He was an older man. And George Foreman was knocking everybody out. He was the Deontay Wilder. Worse, he was beating up elites and knocking them out. But when Ali went in there with fucking Foreman, people thought Ali's getting fucked up. People thought Muhammad Ali's gonna get it, bro. He's gonna get it this time. And he's going to sleep. Muhammad Ali was supposed to go to sleep. But Muhammad Ali done something else. And he shook up the world, bro, again. The way Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman, he let George Foreman get everything out. He let George Foreman get out all the aggression, and Muhammad Ali could take the punches. He was just putting up his guard, going up to the ropes, letting George Foreman get off the punches, then move around. Ali would get a few shots off, do the 1-2. Then Muhammad Ali would go back into the ropes and call George Foreman to keep coming and keep coming forward. And George Foreman would start going in with punches after punches after punches. And Foreman was going in there like he was going to come in there like he was going to break Muhammad Ali. But Muhammad Ali knew how to block. Muhammad Ali was taking like one shot and Foreman was giving 10 shots to get off 1-2 shots. Man, once Muhammad Ali got George Foreman a little bit tired, used his boxing IQ, and how he turned around the fucking fight. And Muhammad Ali could punch on the back foot, man. Muhammad Ali could fight off the back foot. That's one thing about Ali. He could fight off the back foot. Bam. And all of a sudden, George Foreman start coming in the later rounds. You could see he'd be gassing out. Still being aggressive, still having a harder punch. Hey, listen, George Foreman was a tougher man than Muhammad Ali was. George Foreman was a tough man, tougher than what Muhammad Ali was. I'm telling you that now. And this geezer, Muhammad Ali, he broke down a younger man, a tougher man. He broke him down. Like the way that he just dealt with him at the end once George Foreman got tired and Muhammad Ali got those shots off. Man, George Foreman's legs were gone. And
Muhammad
Ali
Ali,
stopped the
Muhammad
man.
Ali was overrated.
Yeah, you can say that. But Muhammad Ali did what he did to George Foreman, Mirage.
No,
You know
I'm
what I mean? You
joking. I'm
should have
actually
come here
joking.
when we had a guy over here,
I'm
which was
joking.
90 years old.
Mm.
The man was watching boxing since 1952. Like he was in the ring watching
Yeah.
all these guys like Joe Lewis. He was over here. You should have come over here when he was here. You could have spoke to him. But let me tell you, that guy didn't even look a day over 50 or 55 years old.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the man was telling me about boxing. I'm kind of like thinking, was he blagging us or what? But yo, Muhammad Ali, bro, they say he's one of the greatest ever.
Yep.
What do you think about this man?
I was joking about him being overrated. Like, I mean, you can sort of see the case that he's overrated, but I don't really follow along with that too much. Yeah, he's obviously one of the very greatest. Yeah.
All right, the man's coming now from boxing. You better just behave yourself. We got people from boxing. We got 100-year-old man in here as well. All right, Mirage.
Yeah, I try
Yo,
not to get him too worked up. Yeah.
yeah, don't get the 100-year-old men worked up over here, bruv. But yo, let me tell you something, man. It was good talking to these older guys who were telling me about Joe Lewis. Hey, yo, Punch, I had a man over here who went to the Joe Lewis fight, bro, with Rocky
Wow.
Marciano.
Wow.
No, that's cool to get to, have a man about 80 years old, 75 years old, telling me
Was he
about them
fucking 90?
fights.
Now he's down to 75.
I don't know. He said he went to the
Well,
fight
next
at
week, what, tomorrow he's going to
1952.
be like 60.
I don't know. The man said he went to the fight at 1952, but he
Okay.
didn't look a day over 55.
So yeah, it must be.
I'm
Fuck.
confused. But hey, he must have aged
Ali
gracefully.
is the greatest.
Go on.
Ali's the greatest, man.
Hey, Punch, how do you think Ali would go in today's era? I've heard some people have this discussion. They say, oh, they're too big for him, blah, blah, blah. What's your opinion?
No, let's
Mm,
just talk about what Ali did, Punch, first. Let's give Ali some. What is he? Is he, he's a great man and did some of the greatest. Is he the greatest boxer of all time, or is it we get hyped up because he was one of the greatest human beings, or one of the greatest human beings we've ever seen?
he evolutionized the heavyweight division. Um, he beat dangerous fighters. He beat the fighters that he wasn't supposed to at the time. He wasn't supposed to beat. Like when he fought Sonny Liston, he wasn't supposed to beat Sonny Liston. When he fought George Foreman, after George Foreman destroyed Frazier and Norton, these guys didn't even pass ain't even pass 2 rounds with Foreman. That was why people felt that Foreman was gonna kill Ali. That's how dangerous that fight was, and he knocked out Foreman, the younger fighter, hungry fighter. He beat Ken Norton even and was fighting with his jaw broken. It was see, I think that people look at you beating the odds. Once you beat the odds, they look at you more greater than anything. If you beat the guys that you're supposed to beat, then you don't get that much props in the sport of boxing. You get your props, but if you're supposed to beat all these guys and your favorite to beat, but what Muhammad Ali was doing, he was beating the odds. You know what I'm saying? And his style, and his style was uh, at the heavyweight division was something new to see in that division. The way he was moving like Floyd like Sugar Ray Robinson, but but as a heavyweight, he's beating guys like Floyd Patterson as well. Jerry, he's beating guys, the best guy in Canada, and George Chavallo. He's beating man all over the world, and he was beating guys all over the world. Man, Muhammad Ali's the greatest.
So is he the man?
Cleveland, he beat
Yeah, but is he
William
the greatest? Or
Cleveland.
let me ask you a question and very straightforward. Mirage, if he's the greatest in your eye test, do you see him beating Lennox Lewis? Yes or no? Just answer that, bro.
He could definitely beat him. It will be
But who have you got in that fight? Muhammad Ali,
uh,
Lennox Lewis. Let's just keep it
well,
real.
Muhammad Ali, like in his prime, like his prime was like in the mid 60s, like before his hiatus from the war. I mean, um, yeah, I'll go for Muhammad Ali. I think he'd be too fast. I mean, Lennox Lewis was great, but people forget a 37-year-old Evander Holyfield, in my opinion, in the rematch, almost fought him to a draw. Um, Ray Mercer arguably beat him. So Lewis, he wasn't like invincible. and he could be outboxed. Well, outboxing is hard, but he could be beaten. So
You think that Lennox Lewis was 6'6" or
6'5", yeah,
6'7",
but
right?
he was a bit sort of
And
sluggish.
he was bigger than Muhammad Ali.
His
He had
style would not overwhelm Ali.
no. You think
Lewis
no,
style
but
doesn't
because
over.
Lennox Lewis,
No,
for some people,
it'd be
is
too
the best
slow.
heavyweight. Some people say that Lennox Lewis is the best heavyweight in of all time. I've heard it. I've heard
Yeah,
Lennox Lewis is a choice of the top 5 of best
but Ali would
heavyweights
have
of
made
all
him look
time.
sluggish. Has he ever fought anybody with that speed? Never, right?
I don't know. Let me ask the chat. What do you think, Punch? You said Ali's got Lennox Lewis' number.
I think I'm gonna say something you might not like. I don't
Go
even
on.
think that Lennox Lewis is on Muhammad Ali's level.
Wow.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know.
But Lennox Lewis is a man who beat Evander Holyfield. He beat Mike Tyson. He beat top guys. He beat Frank Bruno at
No, but
early age. Lennox Lewis was coming up beating all the top guys,
what
bro.
was
Look,
what was Lewis's
it's
best
like
win?
Muhammad Ali is the same age as these guys, but when these guys was doing their thing, like like Lennox Lewis was a late bloomer. You know what I'm saying?
What
Like
was his
think
best
about
win?
it. Think about when Lennox Lewis fought Mike Tyson. But think
That doesn't
about
even count. That doesn't
what
even count, that fight.
yeah, and think about what Mike Tyson already accomplished. Think about it. Remember they're the same age. All these guys are the same age. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, Lennox Lewis, yes, he has he's one of the greatest heavyweights. But Muhammad Ali, I mean, and also Muhammad Ali is a 15-round fighter. Has gone 15 round numerous of times. Dancing. Come on, man. Lewis will be huffing and puffing by the 7th round trying to chase Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
What
indeed.
heavyweight? What heavyweight do you think beats Ali? Then the only one comes to my mind is Tyson Fury.
Mike Tyson.
Dude, Tyson Fury, man, that makes
I
me
think
laugh.
Tyson Fury can beat Muhammad Ali.
Well, how many times out of 10? Like, are you talking like once in a blue moon, or he'd be the
I
favorite?
don't
Like,
know how, but
so he'd be the favorite.
But
I'm
like
saying
in
that.
how? Like
I
Dude, he'd
mean,
be
how?
clown, dude. He'd
I
look
mean,
like
a
a clown.
6'9" guy who can
Not
lean
even
on
six
you.
foot nine. He lies about
Yeah.
his height.
Well,
Which
six
Muhammad
foot
Ali you
nine guy
talking
who can
about?
lean on a 6'2" Muhammad Ali,
He ain't
right?
Deontay Wilder. He just
Muhammad
ain't.
Ali too small. Muhammad Ali too
How would
small.
he catch the guy who floats like a butterfly? A prime youthful Ali. Do you reckon he'd
How
just be
did Joe
standing there?
Frazier catch him?
Dude, he's a
How did
sluggish
Joe
oaf.
Frazier catch him, bro?
He looks
When he was still in his prime, Joe Frazier catched him.
Yeah, but Joe Frazier is
well,
small. Joe Frazier
15
has a
rounds.
different style than
He was a
than
220
Deontay.
pounder. How was he 200 pounds, Fraser? Not that big fucking oaf, Fury. Fury looks good boxing up the Dylan Whites of the world. Now people are getting carried away. He's going to beat up Ali.
Fury is not athletic
He
like
struggled with
Muhammad
Otto
Ali.
Warland, man. Come on.
Mike Tyson will knock out Tyson Fury in 5 rounds.
Yeah, I agree. He's already been dropped like 2, 3 times.
3 times before
He's a
facing
big
Wilder.
oaf. Oh yeah,
Man, I
okay. He's
just
got
think, look, I'm the same, man. There's too much respect for Muhammad Ali. We respect him as a man. We don't want to say these fighters can beat him. But, logically, you got to look at it. Ali was not a big heavyweight. Ali used to weigh in at 215. Not
okay.
even that. These guys are coming in at 260, 270, bro.
Even slow.
Listen,
It just makes him
let me
slow.
tell you this, slow
Makes
or
him
not
slow.
slow.
That's great.
Tyson Fury gonna catch Ali. He could do damage. I'm just saying, bro. You gotta keep it logical as well. We
Okay,
get
what
too
about the
But
hyped
you
up.
know
speed
what's also
and the
underrated
skill?
though?
Ooh.
His power is underrated too. Remember, he made Sonny Liston quit the first fight. He was complaining about the shoulder, but he stopped Sonny Liston and he stopped George Foreman. He stopped the Destroyers in 2 separate eras.
So you can say that Muhammad Ali stopped 2 people like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that
2
his
Mike
power is
Tysons. It's
underrated.
like he beat Mike Tyson twice in his prime.
Yeah, man.
You know.
But I'm not a big fan of these fantasy fights too much. But I mean, I think
I mean, look,
people
Muhammad
get carried
Ali.
away with the modern era. They get carried away. People were saying, "Oh, these heavyweights are too big. They're just too big." When AJ got beat up by a little fat boy,
All right,
just
look, this
because
is how you become the greatest, and I think this is in every sport. When you beat the best, when you beat the man, you become the man.
Mm.
So in the era of heavyweight of that era, he beat the man that was supposed to be Sonny Liston in that era of him coming up. He beat the young guy in Foreman. He beat the guy that was the man. He lost to him, but then he beat him in the rematch. The guy that was the man when he couldn't fight, when he wasn't licensed to fight. So he beat Ken Norton too. You know what I'm saying? And then he was still crazy enough to fight another young Hall of Famer, Larry Holmes, in which he lost. But about that time,
Yo, what
yeah,
happened to
around that time, he's he's the man, bro. He's the man. He's a man.
I agree, man. He's definitely done a lot of things and shook up the world. You know what I mean? But as far as saying he's the man of everything in boxing, well, his boxing style took a lot of punches. He took a lot of punches. His style wasn't the greatest style. His heart was the greatest.
He's a
His
fight
courage was the
everybody
greatest.
to
And that
punches.
he's willing to fight everybody. And he won most of those fights. He only lost a few. You can't deny that. But was his boxing style the best style? Because overall, he did end up in a bad situation. When Muhammad Ali ended up like this, does it show you that his boxing style was the best?
If we're look we're debating not debating but discussing if he's the greatest of all time.
Mm.
So if we're already saying that he's the greatest of all time, that means his style was perfect to be the greatest of all time.
So his style is the boxing style to be greatest of all time.
There you go.
Not a man who never got touched as much, yeah? Not a man who outboxed most of his opponents, never lost to nobody. Never lost to nobody, yeah? A man who beat some of the best fighters. Muhammad Ali didn't fight. Well, Muhammad Ali did fight most fighters in their prime. But there's guys out there that there's a debate out there right now. Now you guys might not like what I'm gonna say next, but I'm gonna put a man up here that's an argumentally gonna say that he's one of the greatest of all time. And the argument is this, and we're gonna talk about it now. Watch this. Let me get this picture up, bro. I have to get this picture up right now.
You're gonna say Floyd.
You already know what I gotta do. You already know what I gotta do out here. I gotta show people that this is the conversation. And this conversation exists, and I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Floyd Money Mayweather says he's the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time, not Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali ended up in a bad way in the sport. Floyd ended up looking at him and how he demolished the sport. He's 50-0, a man that beat multiple world champions. 20 times he defended his belt. I don't care what anyone says. 20 times he defended his belt and he hardly got touched. If anybody they say is the greatest of all time, you could say Floyd Money Mayweather is the greatest of all time. Muhammad Ali was the greatest of his era, but Floyd could be the greatest of the whole entire boxing, bro. Of Ali's time, his time, because he controlled boxing. He knew how to be a guy that never got touched much. When he got touched by Shane Mosley, that was the biggest thing that ever happened to him. That he got clipped in the second round. And Floyd Mayweather came back and put hands on Shane Mosley, a man who adapts. He's like a chameleon, and one of the best defensive fighters ever was Floyd Money Mayweather. Hey, bro, anybody want smoke? I'll send the link. I'm saying there's an argument. There's a fucking link. The argument is Floyd Money Mayweather is the greatest of all time is the argument versus
You're
Muhammad
gonna argue
Ali.
that one by yourself.
Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. I don't care what anybody says. There's an argument there, bro.
Nobody's arguing
I
with you.
don't give a fuck. That's
You
up
gonna
to
argue with
people.
that one, Mirage?
Up to people. Hey, look, man. That's what I'm saying. People got to recognize that Money Mayweather says that he's the best. There ain't nobody done what he's done. He's beaten champion after champion and never get touched. He didn't even been on the fucking floor. Muhammad Ali been knocked out, knocked down. You know what I mean? Muhammad Ali's been knocked out and been knocked down. Floyd Money Mayweather never even fucking touched the canvas, bro.
Yes, he did.
Man, they never scored it. It was a
Yes, they
Terrence
did.
Crawford flash knockdown.
They scored it.
Where?
Remember when his hand broke and he touched the canvas? That's a flat. They called that's a knockdown.
Did they score it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I needed to check. I didn't see no referee counting.
yeah.
Okay. But look, Punch is even going to call that because that's all they got on Floyd. They got nothing on Floyd, man. You know what it is? You guys hate Floyd. But what he did, he controlled fighters.
I
His
think that no,
skills
I
were
don't think that
superior,
nobody
bro.
hate. I don't think if
Yeah,
you're
people hate Floyd, man.
no,
That's
no.
all.
If people hate Floyd's personality, but I'm saying in terms of a real boxing head doesn't take away his skills and talent. It's just
He's just not a great man.
no. It's just that they seen other things that seems greater. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I think that Floyd Mayweather beat the guys that he was supposed to beat. You know, there was not a lot of 50-50. I don't think Floyd Mayweather fought a lot of 50-50 fights.
I mean, it's tough to say because Diego Corrales was the favorite, right? Oscar De La Hoya was the favorite, right? So Floyd Mayweather fought fights which were even worse than 50-50. They had the other fighter winning.
And,
See,
and
see, we got to remember this. These Devin Haney's and these guys haven't been in situations like Floyd when he was younger. He fought serious fighters at that age.
and around that time, nobody was above heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was above heavyweights.
Yeah.
So Ali and the guys that he faced, you know what I'm saying, it speak for themselves, man.
I'm just saying, bro. You might not believe it. It's up to people. But there is a topic here. There's a talk here that Floyd Money Mayweather, the man that you hate, because a lot of people hate him. We can't deny that. He rubs off people in the wrong way. The man was going Gucci store when his brotherhood in America was going against Gucci. The man went against people. He's another Kanye West. People don't like Floyd Mayweather. They like his hypocrisy. So all I've got to say about Floyd, he's in the talk of the greatest of all time. He beat fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, bro. He beat Manny Pacquiao. Just those two names is enough. Then he beat the Cottos, the Shane Mosleys, the Gennaro Hernandez, the Diego Corrales,
The Mosley at
the
38, the
Christian.
Pacquiao
I
at
know, but the
36.
names are all Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers after Hall of Famers. All I'm saying is Floyd Mayweather, he controlled the show. No fucking person beat him. No fucking Englishman could beat him. No Mexican could beat him. No fucking American could beat him. Nobody in the world could beat this guy, bro. He just was the guy. And I believe Floyd Mayweather will go down once he gets older and you know,
What you were
God
gonna say?
forbid.
Once he's a Hall of Famer,
Well, God for no, he's already.
he
God
ain't never
forbid.
gonna be above Muhammad Ali.
Listen, God forbid. But if Floyd Mayweather leaves this world, he will be known as the greatest of all time.
Never,
Guaranteed.
never.
I'm telling you now, there's a generation
Muhammad
after
Ali
the
already
90s.
died,
Punch, hear me out, my brother. There's a generation in the 90s, Punch, that grew up to seeing Floyd Mayweather. And that generation will definitely always have Floyd Mayweather as one of the
Bro, and there's
greatest.
another generation that's gonna look at him as a fucking exhibition fighter.
Yeah, but he can do that, innit, bro? There's nobody can do what can do now. See, Floyd Mayweather makes more money in exhibition than real
This is the
fight.
Jake Paul era. He's following after Jake Paul's footsteps.
Now I'm gonna say this. I am gonna say this. Floyd, whether you like it or not, will be one day in these conversations of the greatest of all time. But then you got fighters which, really captured the world imagination. Now he wasn't a Floyd Mayweather, but he was a fighter that the world looked up to. Like he was somebody different, and that was Iron Mike Tyson.
Look, Floyd Mayweather legacy took a tiny hit.
Mm.
A tiny hit that nobody in boxing respect for him doing.
Let's do it, Punch.
Because that 50 and 0,
Mm.
it was something that was supposed to be quote unquote like, like a monument.
Yeah,
And when he sanctioned a fight
yeah.
with Conor McGregor,
Uh-huh.
he played the sport. He played the sport, the
Mm.
integrity of the sport,
Didn't
the
Muhammad
integrity
Ali
of fucking
didn't Muhammad Ali do all these exhibitions? Muhammad Ali had 15 exhibitions or
bro,
something,
it
bro.
wasn't sanctioned, bro.
But Muhammad Ali still did exhibitions.
Bro, listen to me, bro. You couldn't compare a sanctioned fight.
God, I
It
want
was
you to
sanctioned. It
understand,
went to
but
the records.
I'm gonna keep quiet because I know you got to find ways to put him down. So I'm gonna let you do it. I have to. All right, go.
It's in the record books. These exhibition that Ali had with the wrestler, it was an exhibition. But Floyd Mayweather, it was an actual fight with Conor McGregor. They sanctioned that fight and it got into his record. That's spitting in the face of boxing and the history of it and the morals and principle of it.
Is that it?
That's what it is.
Is that all Floyd Mayweather's done to upset you?
I said his legacy took a tiny hit
Mm.
when that was supposed to be a number. You could have got that number. Hey, you could have got that number with Keith versus a Keith Thurman or a Kell Brook. Something respectable, something that you could be remembered by. Now
Mm.
he played the game.
Yeah.
He wanted to get that. Look. You played with history because you wanted to play that Rocky Marciano shit. And that shit fell flat in your face in the end of the day. Nobody respected that 50 and 0. To this day, nobody's respecting that 50 and 0. And when you spit at the boxing probably spit back at you. And maybe that's why he'll never be considered that much great.
Okay. I mean, you feel
He
like
will never be considered greater than
you
Muhammad
feel
Ali.
like he's shit on the sport, yeah.
I said that. I said tiny hit, but he would never be considered, not even close to what Muhammad Ali is.
All right. Would he be greater than Manny Pacquiao?
That's debatable right now. And he beat Manny Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao, 8 division world champion, and the way that he beat the same guys that Mayweather beat, for them is, you know what I'm saying? Most of the guys that he beat, for people like Manny Pacquiao, again, is how Manny Pacquiao beat the odds. How he's been the underdog is what Manny Pacquiao has done, and in the style that he did it.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. We got the Philippines in the building. What's happening, Transcending Sports?
What's up, Rob? Sir? How are you?
Yes, man. What's happening?
Not much, man. I get it. Does Floyd have a resume? Yes, he does. Does he have an argument of the greatest of all time? Yes, it does.
Because he beat
Oh,
one of the greatest of all time, which is Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest of all time.
yes. There's two sides of the story.
Yeah.
Now, I don't hate Floyd. I respect Floyd, but I like Pretty Boy Floyd more. Because Pretty Boy Floyd was much more exciting, but it doesn't mean it diminishes Mayweather's when he hurt his hand to become the villain of the story, quote unquote, right? Um, the argument, like you said, the closest person to be Muhammad Ali could be Manny Pacquiao. Now, not in the United States, I'm talking about in Asia
To be
or
fair
around the
with you,
world.
I think a lot of people wanted Manny Pacquiao to beat Floyd Mayweather because people were getting pissed off with the Floyd Mayweather aura and they wanted him to lose as well. So people wanted Manny Pacquiao to win. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of wanted Manny to win as well because I was thinking I want Manny to be the man. You know what I mean?
Right? So let me ask you this, crap.
Yeah.
If you have an argument with Floyd Mayweather as one of the greatest of all time, what is your argument? Why do you think Manny should be in that argument?
No,
Because if you
Manny,
think about
but that's a good debate. Manny Pacquiao should be in the debate.
right, that's I'm asking you, why do you think?
Why do I think what?
Why do you think Manny should be in that argument?
Well, just like Punch said, is one of the first ever eight eight division world champion, bruv. Man has faced all names as well. He faced
Right.
everybody in every era, and he came back in an era as well and beat Keith Thurman again. So
Mm,
this guy, Salif's totally. You can't deny what Manny Pacquiao's done. Manny Pacquiao's done more than any fighter's ever gonna put on lace on gloves. I don't think any fighter could ever become an 8 weight world champion again. So just alone, Manny Pacquiao faced everyone, but Manny Pacquiao did also lose. Manny Pacquiao got knocked out. So can
right.
the best fighter of the world be can the greatest fighter of the world be somebody who gets knocked out and loses to people like he did? But then
Yeah.
he came back stronger. So
Well, the argument is Sugar Ray Robinson. You know how many times the guy lose, but he comes back up, right? People consider him the greatest of all time because of what his body of work.
yeah.
Same thing with Manny Pacquiao. And the reason why I think Manny Pacquiao should be upper, could be close to Muhammad Ali is because the way he did for his people, for my people, right? The way he did it, the way he made sure the Philippines has always been on the map, make sure he take care of his own people, and make sure that he gives to the people of the Philippines. That's why to me, he's the closest to Muhammad Ali. The
As
way
a
he acts,
personality, as a personality.
not as a personality, but the way empowerment for other people.
Yeah.
Now,
So that
I don't say that Floyd doesn't do the same thing, but I'm just saying that it's well known that Manny does it.
so is the greatest of all time a person who touches people and has a good way of where people look up to them, or the person who does the most in the ring?
Well, Manny Pacquiao has done both.
You're right. But what I'm saying is it because they're how good of people they are as well?
I guess it depends on the perspective of the person you're asking, right? People like Floyd because Floyd outboxes people because he's genius. He's no one can touch him. Yes, I was pulling for Floyd when he beat Oscar De La Hoya, right? Because I know Floyd was just smarter. Now, my point of view is that if you have those two things, I think that would make you one of the best. That's not. I'm gonna ask you this: Does people like Floyd as much? No, but do they respect his skills? Yeah. Can you do the same thing with Manny Pacquiao? Do people respect him more? Yeah. Do you respect his skills? Yeah. I think there's multiple ways that you can argue that I can argue that Manny Pacquiao is closest to Muhammad Ali, in my point of view.
I mean that. Yeah. I mean that's different. Yeah, that's a different perspective, people to people. But as far as ring generalship, ring IQ, a man who took the least punishment, achieved the most out of boxing, beat the most champions as well in certain era, beat fighters that people respect. It's all about how you see a fighter being one of the best of all time. It's not typically how good the person's personality is and not how good he touches people. It's how good is he in the ring.
Well, let me ask you: Is Manny Pacquiao great in the ring?
Yeah, we know Manny Pacquiao's great in the ring, but we got to look at a fighter who's maximized the most, took the least damage, a fighter that maybe, achieved the most out of the sport and took the most least ever damage. Now, how many times did Manny Pacquiao go on the floor? How many did he get knocked out? Yeah, he did get
Yeah,
knocked out.
multiple times. But that's what
Right.
a champion does, though.
I know. A champion does that. But the greatest of all time, the man who was the most flamboyant, there's an argument for Floyd Mayweather to be better than Manny Pacquiao. Now he
Yeah,
might not have
almost.
achieved eight weight world champion, but remember Floyd Mayweather beat Ricky Hatton before Ricky Hatton got beat with Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather beat Oscar De La Hoya before Oscar De La Hoya lost to Manny Pacquiao. I say it's a good debate between Floyd and Manny as well, because Manny did also achieve 3 more world class weights. But we got Frank in the building. What do you think about
Yo,
this, Frank?
I'm listening to the man that was speaking, and I agree with him. I mean, these things are subjective. It's about how you feel. It's just like I was listening to the older gentleman, and he couldn't stop talking about the old school, right? But I
Yeah,
can't feel it. I wasn't there. Like I could read some books, but I wasn't there during that time. You can't. He can tell me how it was, but I'll never be able to feel it. So it's just that feeling you got watching Manny Pacquiao against all the Mexicans, against Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto. He engulfed the nation just like Tito Trinidad, just like Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar Floyd, he didn't really capture that. I know
yeah,
they're gonna hate, but you
yeah.
gotta be honest. He didn't capture that. His last fight, Berto tanked. So you can't tell me where was all his fans. That's what's mind-boggling. Yeah, the Conor McGregor, but that you can't be the greatest of all time with that as your 50th fight.
Right.
You can't come on here and argue. I would love someone to come on here and argue that was a legitimate fight for 50-0 to break a record. But it's how you
Can,
feel,
can I
like go
can I
ahead.
add one more thing? Sorry to cut you off.
No,
Um,
go ahead. I wasn't saying it's subjective. I mean, it really amounts to feelings because no amount of facts can beat the old school because they had like hundreds of fights, right? Can anybody do that anymore? No. So it's not fact related. But go ahead, sir.
no, to the point I was making. Sorry, Rap, to cut you off too as well. Um,
No.
is that if you had like because like you said it was very subjective, but if you guys were in the Philippines when Manny Pacquiao fights, because I grew up in the Philippines, I grew up in Canada, right? So when you have someone like an icon like he is in the Philippines fighting for your country and the way he does it and in the way he gives to people, that's what I'm trying to say. It is quite iconic and it's just quite godlike personality. Now, like I said, it's very subjective. Right? It depends on different people. But once you see a fighter comes out from a nation who's from out of poverty, right? Boxing is the only sport that I think will you have to fight for your life, literally fight for your life just to get be better. And you have to be that good. You can't just be an ordinary fighter. You have to be that good to fight, to make millions, to give it away, and those stuff. Now, I'm not saying Floyd just never did that. What I'm saying is that to create an emotion and to create that feeling that Manny could be one of the greatest of all time because of all the bodies of work. Plus, what he does outside the ring, because what you do outside the ring also matters.
I don't
I
think what
agree.
you do
That's why.
outside the ring, though, matters in being the greatest of all time in the ring. See, being the greatest of all time as an ambassador is a different debate. If you're being the greatest of all time to represent boxing, that's a whole different debate. But being the greatest of your attributes, your skills, and what you've done in the ring, included your body of work, and knowing that how you've beaten certain people at the time when you've beaten them, all that takes into account.
But
I
rap,
think
can I?
sometimes we got to recognize what Manny Pacquiao and Muhammad Ali stand for the people is way more greater than boxing. Have you ever thought about that?
But Brad, I think there's a error in what you're saying. Is you're saying you can't calculate the inside and outside, but you have to because Rigondeaux could have been one of the best boxers, but nobody cared. It's just like this Haney kid. I mean, nobody
But
cares. He could be 60 and
the,
0, and
my
nobody's gonna
thing was the
care. So
skill
he's not
set
gonna
though.
transcend. No,
But
but the
my thing was the who's got the best skill set to be the best fighter of all
But it
time.
has to transcend. That's what we're saying. It can't just be in the ring. You can't be put on that pedestal if it doesn't transcend, if people don't gravitate towards it. That's who's going to make you the greatest of all time is the people. The people are going to say, hey, I seen this kid fight and he was amazing.
But then at that point, then Chavez Senior is the greatest because there was no fans out there supporting a fighter like they did with Chavez Senior. Chavez Senior will go down one of the greatest because he touched the whole country as well. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that you're not as skillful enough. It don't matter that you get knocked out. It don't matter that you lose. It's how you touch the people and do great fights in the ring. But that also takes away from a fighter who has not the greatest personality, who doesn't represent America where America embraced him, who always had a love and hate relationship with his own fans. Then fighters who never had the country behind them, who did better than those fighters, how do you recognize those guys?
Well, I mean, okay, well then take this Terrence Crawford guy. I mean, if he let's say he just hypothetically beat Earl Spence and he became undisputed, I think he surpassed Floyd. That's why months when it first began, I said, dude, he has the best chance to become the greatest of all time if he were to accomplish that, and then have a chance to go to 154 and take on Charlo for undisputed. Now, if he does that, he's no doubt about the greatest of all time. But guess what? In 2 years, 3 years, when nobody's gonna care. It has to matter. Like boxing, that's why it's not the sport that it was when that guy is telling you what we're missing. And see, you're trying to just make it numbers and data, but that is never gonna matter
So
to people's minds and hearts.
So do we look at it as a stats as factual, or do we look at it as what really touches the fans and what the fans remember? Do we have to look at what fighter really did the best in his career and what achieved the most with taking the least punishment, had the multiple weight world championship title defenses, how many weights they fought? Do we look at all of that, or do we look at the personality, how they were bigger than boxing, how they touched the country? We have to look at all of that, yeah?
Well, yeah, that's what the man before you was telling you, and why he's talking about it in his later days, and what this man right now on the panel is telling you. I mean,
so it's that every man will see it differently.
Well, yeah, that's why I said
every man
it's
is
subjective.
Every man is going to look at it differently.
But
Now,
I'm trying. That's why I use.
Some people they say Rocky Marciano is the best of all time. I've always heard of that as well. I heard Rocky Marciano is the best, one of the best of all time because he never lost.
Right? Yeah, and people are going to look at it and say, oh, he was just a brawler. But that's how they felt. How can I tell them they're wrong when the stats also confirm how they felt? And Rocky Marciano was a legend. They made movies about him. Academy Award pictures were based on him. What do you think Rocky is about? Raging Bull. How can those things be wrong? You know?
It's the same things happening to Canelo right now. Right? Is he the greatest Mexican fighter? Is what he's built and what his body of work is. He's considered one of the greatest fighters right now. If he retires right now, he can be considered one of the greatest right now with Canelo. Right? And it's the same thing with what's his name?
But if Canelo's going to be recognized as one of the greats, well, then Canelo also lost twice. He lost to Bivol and he lost to Mayweather. So where would that put, man? Look, we're talking about fighters being the greatest. We're talking about fighters being the greatest. But those fighters have been beat by Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, so you're looking
Oscar
at
De La Hoya, one of the greatest, being beat by Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
I'm just saying, right?
Like I said, no,
subjective.
There's nothing wrong with your argument, Rap. But the way you see it is, the only way to be the greatest fighter of all time is you can't lose.
I see a man who constantly wins, and a man who's ring IQ, ring generalship, and shows me that he takes the least punishment. He's a man that definitely conquered the sport. He is one of the greatest of all time.
Right. So you're basing on that you cannot lose to be the greatest of all time.
Skills pay the bills. Not just lose, it's how your skills transform. How as a fighter you adapt.
Then what's the point of fighting the fights? It's like Sugar Ray Leonard was before my time, but I've seen highlights, I watched fights, and I can honestly look at him and say, yeah, he's a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather. He was just much more dynamic, exciting, fast, strong.
Yeah, you can say that. You can.
But you can visibly see it, and there's people that I can connect with that I can talk to and they will tell you, yeah, that man was what Floyd could never be. Like I'm getting it
But Sugar
firsthand.
Ray Leonard could be timed because Roberto Duran showed you that. Sugar Ray Leonard also got shown that he could be a little bit exposed in the ring. I'm not saying Sugar Ray Leonard ain't one of the greatest. Of course he is. You can see it when he fights. But he had tough fights, and he also lost a few fights. But what we got to recognize is Sugar Ray Leonard fought everybody. Just can't deny him.
Yeah, so
Can't deny him.
how could we tell somebody that witnessed that like that was their era and they felt that they were a kid excited like we are,
Mm.
or they were in their, midlife and they were excited like we get. How can we tell them that they're wrong?
Yeah, I
That's
think
why.
everybody has their own view. You're never gonna beat the view of Muhammad Ali when you got people coming from which came earlier on from the 50s.
Right. That's
You're
true.
not gonna beat them. They said Muhammad Ali is the greatest, and there is
Right.
never gonna be a conversation for them to have a Mayweather or a Pacquiao even next to Ali, right?
Worse than that, they'll laugh you out the room. They'll just, oh my, it wouldn't even be they couldn't even fathom it just because of how monumental a figure he was. That's the
Right.
difference too.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's the same. That's what I'm trying to say. He is the most. Muhammad Ali is the most iconic fighters back then because the way he did, not only for the boxing, but what he did to his people.
I think Mike Tyson was on his own era somebody that just just somebody that was just different.
Right.
Nobody's seen a man like Mike Tyson, bro. So for
Especially Mike Tyson.
some people say that Mike Tyson is the greatest because Mike Tyson gave them something in boxing that nobody's seen. That Mike Tyson was the greatest in his early career. I don't know. People say this because they felt he had something that nobody could beat when he was in that era, when he was coming up before he went to prison and before his life got fucked up.
It's crazy you
So
say that because as you say that name, I can't even put Floyd above Mike. I know people, oh my God, but he wasn't the best. It's just that's the feeling that he gave you. Like you have to really take that into account because a lot of those fans that were Mike Tyson's, they're no longer boxing fans. They're probably even worse than casuals. You know what I mean? It's just what he did for the sport. He had a fucking video game. He had fucking he married Robin Givens, dude. He was on ABC primetime news. His fights were on Fox. Like he was larger than life. Like you can't put a pay-per-view number on that.
No.
Even Roy
Same.
Jones, who was probably just as gifted at the same time or coming up, could never capture that.
Talk about one of the greatest skill set of all times. Remember when Roy Jones Jr. was in his prime? Fucking that guy's untouchable.
Yeah, but he could never capture just for some reason, the
Oh yeah,
mainstream.
yeah. I'm talking pure skills.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying it has to be outside the ring also. Like I'm trying
Right. No, I agree with you. I'm just talking about how Roy Jones, when
but
Roy
because
Jones
he
was,
lost, then he can't be talked about. See, that's that bullshit, man.
yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say, man. Fuck
right,
that Floyd shit. Like give him his credit, but you can't call him the GOAT just because of that
lost. Yeah,
there's
no,
no way he was as gifted as Roy Jones Jr. No way. I mean, he had his own, his defensive style. Okay, he's the greatest defense, but that Roy lost. So what?
right. Yeah, it's. I don't know. Just because you lost, it does not mean you're done or you can't be remembered as one of the greatest.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
that
understand it.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't
Well, that's what I'm
understand that.
saying.
Like,
That
yeah,
just because people they want to have something to hold over you, like they just want to be able to say Floyd because it sounds good, if that makes sense.
right.
You
No,
know,
I'm actually no. That makes sense. That makes sense.
it's
That
like
makes
being a
sense.
brand whore. You're
Right,
just a brand whore at this point. It's like
right.
You don't
even
think
when
Floyd has a good case to be the greatest?
tell him, Mirage. Go on.
You don't
I
think he's
want
the
actually?
Mirage like a
vampire rises again.
You don't
vampire
reckon?
rises.
With
Go on,
Nobody's
Mirage.
50-0, all the
I,
champions he beat, you think that's just brand whoring? Just
Did you ever buy any of his fights, Mirage?
answer the question I asked you.
Have you ever bought a Floyd Mayweather fight? Did you ever buy a Floyd Mayweather fight?
How is that relevant?
Oh, see, this is the shit I'm talking
How is that
about.
relevant? Why are you dodging my question? Don't you
Because you
think
don't know
Floyd's done
shit. You
enough?
don't watch. You don't ever watch this
Oh,
fight. You
hang
never
on.
bought a fight.
Hang on.
How
So the
can you
only way
talk
you can
about
watch
it?
the fight, hang on. So the only way you can watch his fights is if you bought them. Is that your position? There's no other way
Well,
to watch
no,
the
that just would have
fights?
meant you were a
Are
fan
you
of the
that thick?
sport.
Are you really that thick?
Now you lost already, Mirage. I'm sorry. Your opinion just
So
is not
obviously
relevant.
Floyd has a very good case from his track record in the ring to be the
Nobody
greatest
said he
ever.
didn't. Nobody said he
No, you
didn't.
said that. You said, oh, if you just mention his name, it's just you want to be cool, you're brand whoring. That's what you just
Yeah,
said.
you're
Did
an
you forget?
example of this. Exactly. You're exactly the person I'm talking about.
So he hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned that level of
I didn't
respect.
say that.
Yeah, he
Well, then
has.
how am
He has
I?
earned
What
it.
kind of person are you? You're not making sense. You're just
He
bouncing around.
Floyd has earned every right to be
Obviously,
considered one of the greats.
Frank doesn't like Floyd, so now he's trying to minimize him
Well, I didn't
and
say that. It
discredit him.
doesn't matter if I like Floyd or not. It's subjective, and I just prefer other fighters. I prefer Mike Tyson. I prefer Roy
That's
Jones,
great.
Manny
Yeah, but
Pacquiao.
you were minimizing. You were saying, oh, those want the people that mentioned Floyd, blah blah blah. They're not even legit, blah blah blah. That's what you
Well,
said.
what were they when his last fight with the fight with Broner? I thought he was this mega star. Why did that not do so well? Why
So
did he get
again,
booed
you're
against
good at
Carlos
asking.
Baltimore? Why did he get
You're
booed
good at
against Carlos
asking relevant
Baltimore? And
questions. Did
they
you learn that
question
from
him, why'd you
Punch?
stink out the fight?
Has
Nah, you
Punch
can
been
go
giving
look
you
it up.
lessons?
Can somebody click the link where he was
So if you're
booed
not
out of
an
the
exciting
stadium?
fighter, so you can only be the greatest if you're exciting. If you're not exciting, you can't be the greatest. Is that your position?
I think it matters. It's my criteria. You can have your own criteria. Nobody can force you to like who you like.
Why
You
does it
know,
matter in terms of like,
it
is
matters
it
just the reason you don't like Canelo, even though he's the face of boxing.
no? I
It's the same
criticize him for
thing.
his skill level.
You trying to argue for Floyd is like me trying to tell you you have to like Canelo because
No,
he was the greatest. I never try
I'm
to make you
talking
like
about
Canelo.
I'm
No, that's
talking
what you're
about
trying to
skill level.
do.
You're criticizing Floyd because he's boring. I don't dislike Canelo because he's boring. That's wrong. So you are criticizing Floyd.
Well,
He
make your
can't be
case for Floyd then, since you never bought his
the,
fight, you never supported boxing. But go ahead. What's
so
your
the
case for Floyd?
measurement, the criteria. You have to be exciting to be the greatest. I mean, that's
Nobody said
nonsense.
that. Is that your
You said
criteria?
that. You said that like a minute ago.
I
You're
said that's
forgetting.
mine. I said that's one of my criterias.
Yeah, but it's dumb.
It's dumb. Okay.
Why? Okay, why is it relevant in
Well, what's
terms
your
of whether talking
criteria?
about
I
the
don't know. You
greatest?
have to set your own criteria and explain it.
We'll try again. Why is it excitement relevant?
This is not my list. This is your list you're talking about. You have to talk about it, make your case.
I'm interrogating you about your list. You
You
said
don't need to interrogate. It's
excitement.
subjective. There's no reason for
Good. So give me
anybody
your
to interrogate
subjective
anybody.
subjective opinion. Go.
No, this is your floor. You said Floyd's the best.
I'll
Why
answer
is
your
he not the
question for you.
greatest?
I'll
Why
answer.
do I
I'll,
not
I'll
feel or
answer
think
for
he's
you.
not?
So
That's what I told you to do.
when you talk about greatness, you're obviously using a metric not just in the ring. You're talking about personality, entertainment factor. But when you talk about the greatest, really, you should be when people talk about that, they talk about in-ring ability, their performance as a boxer. That's what it should be. You're putting on all this other stuff that's not really relevant in that sense. So you're just exposing yourself for not understanding boxing again, basically.
Then you said a whole lot of nothing. You didn't
Yeah. So
explain
Floyd, I
why
don't like
Mayweather's the
Floyd.
best.
I don't like Floyd. Floyd was boring, but that's not relevant when it comes to his ability as a boxer and what he achieved. See, I can separate that. You can't because you're
But
very
so is he the
emotional.
greatest of all time to you? Is that
You're
what you're
very
saying? Like
emotional.
you're not making any commitments
I
here.
don't know about. See, I don't.
So then
I
why
don't
would
really
you
get
if
into
you
this.
don't know, then why would you say that I'm making a mistake? Like you don't make no sense, bro.
No,
You
because
really are
you're using. I'm
backwards.
criticizing. No, I'm criticizing your
Then make your
criteria.
own fucking list. Then make your own
I'm
case for your own
criticizing
fighter.
the
Because
measurement
you
that
don't
you
have a
use.
mind of your own. You're a vampire. You latch on to me or whoever. You
I'm
don't have a mind of
questioning
your own.
you.
You can't make a case for
Now
your own
you're
fighter
getting
then.
uncomfortable.
Then
You're
make your
getting
own fucking
uncomfortable.
case, dude.
I've triggered
Make
you
your own
again. You're
case.
completely triggered. Maybe you can go get punched
I'm
for backup.
laughing at you.
Get him
I'm
for
not
backup.
triggered.
He'll
If my
protect
blood
you.
pressure is not rise, dude, make your
Yep.
own case, bro. Like,
I'm
who's your
questioning
fighter, the
your
greatest of
case.
all
I'm
time?
questioning your
You
case.
don't need
This is how
to.
it
It's
goes.
subjective. It's all how you think. I don't
So
give a
somebody
fuck what you
says
think.
the greatest fighter of all time is like some can, we can't question
Good
it.
for
We just have to
fucking
go.
them. Yeah, good for them.
We can't
I
question it.
mean,
We just accept it.
I don't care. It's not my problem. That's their problem, right? You can like
Well,
whoever you like. There's people that love
well, this is when you have a
Rigondeaux, you know?
discussion. You go
There's
back and
people that
forth,
love
and
Boo
you say,
Boo
okay,
Andrade.
why is this guy the best fighter of all time? How do you analyze that? This is
Then
normally
you make
the way
the
it goes.
case. I don't know why you're so concerned about what
Okay,
I think or how I feel.
but
It
you
makes
made
no
your
sense.
case, and I was questioning your case.
No, I was just having a discussion with people that
Well,
watch
I'm having a
boxing
discussion with
and
you.
know
Why are you
boxing.
upset?
Who said
Why are you
I'm
so
upset? Do
sensitive?
I sound upset?
You're gonna go
I'm
tell your mum
not.
now? You wanna go
It's
tell her?
funny. It's comical. What? What are you trying to say now? Did you say my mom? My mom?
You're gonna go tell your mum that Mirage is picking on you.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell her why she didn't warn me about
Yeah,
comedians like you.
yeah. But
I don't know. You need
so
help,
you
man.
agree that Floyd he's in the discussion. He deserves to be in the discussion for the greatest
I don't even think he's in the discussion, but you
because
can
he's
be if you
boring.
want.
Because he's boring.
No,
That's a big
I
reason.
just don't think he's all that. I think it's a little mascara on there. I think it's a little branding. It's a little commercialism. Just like McDonald's, right? It's fast food. They can, it's popular,
How
but
is
that doesn't mean it's the
15-0 and
best.
beating all those champions?
He fought a
Mascara.
non-boxer. He fought a 0-0 dude. Come on, that's a
Hang on,
fraudulent.
that's just one fight. What's that got to do with his whole career?
It's like a stamp on someone's career. That's really how you're gonna try to break a
Oh,
record.
so after he's retired and he's achieved amazing things, we're going to dismiss that because he fought Conor McGregor. Is that your logic?
You just say you're not even a fan of him. So what are you arguing for him for? What does it matter to you?
Oh,
What does it
see, this
matter what I
blows your
think?
mind. This blows your mind. You can understand how it can be objective, that I can argue with somebody without liking him. This is how biased you are. You need to like
What's my
somebody to
bias?
support them. You
Well,
can't
I can't
comprehend
argue that
me
my
being
list is
objective.
superior and it's based on
I can
objectivity
say
when it's
somebody's a great
obviously
fighter,
completely subjective.
even if I hate them, believe it or not. I bet
You
you
show
can't.
your lack of objectivity trying to argue a subjective point.
So
It
you
makes no
can't do that.
sense. No,
Your
you're
mind just
trying to argue
exploded.
something that's subjective. You're trying to paint some kind of objective
No,
paint
no.
objectivity around a subjective conversation.
I didn't say it was
No, you're
objective.
trying to say you're the one being objective and you know more when it's a
No,
subjective conversation.
you're
I
just a
can't.
muppet.
It's just like me trying to convince you to like Canelo. It's like Canelo's pound for pound number one, and you'll go fucking till next week telling us that it's a fraud. It's the same thing. You're trying to convince me of this guy's a great when I don't think he is. It's just like me trying to convince
It's
you
not
that the
about
number
me.
one, the consensus number one pound for pound
I didn't
Canelo,
get that
but
opinion because I
Barrage
dislike
thinks he's a
him.
fraud. No, you're
My
not being
opinion on
objective.
Canelo
You don't
revolves
recognize the
around
number one pound for pound fighter.
my opinion on
How
Canelo
does
is
that any
based on
different? How is that any different from me talking
in-ring
about
performance.
Mayweather?
That's all I
Why do you
judge him
not
on
recognize Canelo then?
because of
If you
his
want to
in-ring
keep apples to
performances.
apples,
Because his in-ring
no, it's the same
performances.
thing. You got to be objective.
No, you said,
Everybody agrees he's pound for
Floyd
pound.
Mayweather is not exciting, so that's why
It's the
you're.
same side. It's two sides of the same coin, and you fail to realize that. Yeah, it's why I would never
Entertainment.
argue and tell you that Canelo. You need to recognize Canelo because it's the next pound for pound
You
is
can give me
subjective.
a
So I
good
can't
argument.
argue and try to convince you because I'd never
You're
get
just
through to
doing
you.
this to me now.
You've
You're
made it
babbling.
that you're biased against Canelo. So why would I try to convince you otherwise?
How am I biased against Canelo? How?
He's obviously considered a pound for pound fighter. You'll never recognize him. How is that any different from what I'm saying about Floyd Mayweather? You're trying to convince me something to be
My,
objective when you
my
can't.
argument is based on some sort of fact, something substantial.
It's not
Yours
based
is
on
based on
facts.
nonsense. Yours is
It's
based on
just
nonsense.
you're arguing
Oh, he
trying to say
wasn't
you're objective
exciting enough. He
on
wasn't
something
entertaining.
subjective.
What's entertaining got to do with him beating all-time great Manny Pacquiao? Does it matter if you beat him in a boring way or entertaining way? Does that matter? He still beat him. You have to give him credit.
It might not matter to you. It matters to me.
Yeah, because
I
you don't
make the
understand
list.
boxing. You're just a fucking fanboy.
Right, you understand more than everybody, even though you never bought a Floyd Mayweather
Yeah,
fight.
look,
Trying to argue
you're
to
a
somebody you
casual,
never bought a
but you
fight
don't
on.
realize it.
Nah,
You don't
actually,
realize it
believe it
yet.
or not,
You're a
I
casual.
literally bought every Floyd Mayweather fight. I even bought the McGregor fight,
Well,
which I regret
I'm sure he'll thank you for
because I
contributing
like
to his
boxing.
his mansions and all that.
No,
I'm sure he'll
the
thank you.
Cotto fight, that was one that I made
Next
sure.
time you
Actually, I
see him,
went to
go
the
up to
movie
him, go up
theater to
to him
see
and
it.
say, "Oh, Mr. Mayweather, I bought all your
Nah, shit, I
fights.
paid
I'm a
$100 to
big
watch that.
fan." Well,
Actually,
you're fucking
200
dumb.
to watch
That's
that
what you are.
Pacquiao fight. Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
why are you paying $100 for a fight that's boring? A fighter's going
Well,
to
I
put you to
wanted to
sleep.
see Pacquiao, but I
All right,
never
let
really put a
other
That's
people.
matchup.
dumb.
So we let other people speak. Listen, Mirage. Other people have come here to speak to you. Do you want to
Who
Yeah,
listen?
else
let
wants to
the
speak?
Mirage
I
just
Exactly.
is
think. I think
a moron.
we got our friend,
Frank's
my
been
friend
cooked
from
again.
Boston. Listen, come on, keep respectful. We got my friend from Boston, Mike from Boston. How you feeling, bro?
Oh, not that dude.
Mike, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Mirage, I wanted to ask you a question. When you come on these panels, are you doing what you do for entertainment purposes? Because people like, the arguing and stuff, like, but are you having real conversations? Are you doing this just to argue for like the people listening to, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Oh,
just curious.
I'm here to educate. It's for educational purposes.
Okay, so if no one was listening to us, would you talk the same way?
Yes, 100%. Yeah,
Okay, all right. I was just
yeah.
curious about
Rest
that.
assured,
Let me let me let me
you
ask
can
you a
relax
question
now.
though. Let me
So do you
ask you
want
a
smoke as
question.
well?
No, I don't want smoke.
Okay,
I'm just gonna bring
that's
something
fine.
up though. Who did Floyd Mayweather have? Who do you believe his toughest fight was in his whole career?
His toughest fighter in his whole career.
Yeah,
Um, fuck, what's his name when he almost arguably lost the fight? What's his name? The
Castillo.
Mexican dude. Yeah, Castillo. No, no,
yeah,
no.
Castillo.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's
I,
his toughest fight.
yeah, and I think that he clearly, in my opinion, he lost that fight. I watched that fight 50 times, and I cannot score it for Floyd every time. I
I
just
watched
have
that
to
like
give him
ages
that
ago.
love.
After, I mean, I know it's close, but I should rewatch that again.
Another fight that he was in that was close was the first fight with
Medina.
Maidana. That was
Yeah,
a
I don't
that
think
was
he
a
lost that. No, I don't think he lost
I
that. I
wouldn't
think.
give I wouldn't say it was. I think it was probably maybe closer to a draw, maybe a draw between those two guys.
Yeah, I have to rewatch that, but I think it was close, but I don't get the thing that he lost or something like that. I don't really buy that. I think they gave too much value to the flurries on the ropes,
Well, if you
and a lot
remember
of them
in
missed.
the third round, remember the end of the third round when he got his tooth knocked out when Maidana uh, rocked him, really rocked his ass right at the bell, and his tooth went flying out.
Was that his tooth, really? I don't think it was his tooth.
Yeah, no, and then the whole next round, the whole fourth round, Floyd was um basically couldn't do anything because he was so shook up. He was basically had to take the round off because he was trying to get his legs back and shit because he got hit real hard too. You could hear that shit. You could hear that, and you could see the tooth
Yeah,
go flying out of his face. Rapstar, you remember that shit?
but those were about the only real close fights, right? That were disputable,
Um,
really. That's about
yeah,
it.
I wouldn't say that there was any other disputable. Who is the southpaw that he fought
De
that
La Hoya
was?
one, I don't think that was a split
Oh yeah,
decision.
De La
That
Hoya.
wasn't a
That
split
was
decision.
some people say that Floyd lost
No,
that fight too.
no, no.
It all depends on who you talk to.
Oscar was missing a lot on the ropes. A lot of
If
that.
Oscar, if the real fight would have been to see if when those both guys were in their prime, if when Floyd was in
Oh
his
yeah.
actual prime. I'm talking about when he was before Floyd became the money Mayweather before back when he was the younger guy. The guy who was.
Oscar was almost like a decade past his prime.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, he came out of retirement for that. He shouldn't even
Yeah.
have been in that fight. But I wonder if Floyd could have beat him. If Floyd
Oh,
could have beat
I
him, I don't
probably would have
know.
put my money on Oscar. It
I
would have
would
been
put.
a
I would too.
50-50. Oscar, man, I
Yeah,
was watching the other day a little bit of Oscar Chavez, the first fight. Man, Oscar just floated around the ring, like his movement, the speed, the combinations. I mean, I think people forget how great he was, like in the
yeah. Say
90s.
what you want about Oscar, about all the weird.
Fucking
He's been
beast.
involved in some weird shit in his personal life. But other than that, though, he was a phenomenal boxing
Yeah,
talent.
he
Like
will
one of
beat
the
up all these
best.
motherfuckers today,
Yeah,
in
he
my
he
opinion.
he fought
Easily.
everybody too. He didn't duck anyone. His
Yeah.
whole career, he
None of this
fought
bitching
fucking
about
everybody.
contracts, back and
Yeah,
forth, not fighting the guy in your division for 4 years. None of that fucking bullshit.
yeah. That I mean, that you have to give
Go
credit
on,
there
Tip.
to him.
When Tip wants a cutting, let Tip cut in. What's happening, Tip?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on, Tip. What's happening? Tip Bayless. I see you in the back. What's going on? I can't hear you, mate. You guys keep cooking, bro. Go on, Mike. Yeah, so Mike, you don't think Floyd is one of the greatest? Mike from Boston. I don't know what happened to Mike. He fucking got off as well. So you don't think Floyd's one of the greatest, yeah? Do you think people hate Floyd because of his life and the way that he's arrogant, the way that he flashes money, the way that he supports causes what people don't like? Do you
Yep.
think
Yeah,
it's
but
because of all that, bro? Go on, Mirage.
no, I don't think it is. It's just who you prefer. It really is just.
Why wouldn't you hate him because of those reasons? Like
Oh my
he's
gosh.
a douchebag. Like he acts like a tool. Of course, they're factors.
Yeah, people like who they like. There's no rhyme or reason why they like somebody.
Why wouldn't there be rhyme or reason? So you don't. So if a guy acts like a
Oh my
dickhead
god.
or a wanker, that's not a reason for me to dislike him.
I don't
People
know
just
what your
dislike
fucking reason
randomly.
is. You decide. I don't
Do you
give a fuck
dislike
what
me
you
randomly,
think.
or do you
I
dislike me
honestly
for no
I give a
reason at all?
shit what a Mirage thinks.
Do you have
Mirage,
any
you
reasons
honestly
for
don't count
disliking
to
me?
me. You just
So if
don't
somebody
count.
asked you, why do you
You're a
dislike
zero.
Raj? You
I
don't have
just
any
don't think your
reasons.
opinion
You have
matters.
no rhyme or reason for disliking me.
I
Is that how you
respect
feel?
like Rap Star's opinion, Punch's opinion, even Tip sometimes,
Yeah.
but yours doesn't count. It just doesn't matter. You're a zero.
There's obviously reasons why you dislike me. Obviously. So there is a rhyme
It's
and a
the
reason.
reasons 50 other people booted you, bro. And I told you that. There's
So you
reasons you've
don't have
been
your own
booted.
reason. You just follow the crowd.
No,
So
I've
you're a
listened to
sheep.
you. I've talked
You're
to
a
you.
sheep.
I think you're a zero.
Oh.
You don't
So there
count.
are reasons. So there are reasons.
I literally
So
don't even listen to you.
what I say makes you dislike me.
Is irrelevant. No, I just honestly,
So what
it's
Floyd?
like fast food, bro. You
Hang
empty
on. So
calories.
what I say is irrelevant to why you dislike me?
No, it's like eating Chinese food. You're hungry 30 minutes later.
Man,
Like
you just fucking,
I
you're
have a
Mr. Word
bullshit
Salad.
detector.
You're
I have
Mr.
a
Word
bullshit
Salad.
detector. When I hear bullshit, I stop paying
Okay.
attention. Like
So
I
that
don't
that
listen.
means what I say is a factor. So what Floyd says, what he does, those are reasons why he's disliked, right?
Could be, could not be. I know some people love it. He did it for a reason. There's people that love that shit talking. That's the reason they like rap
Obviously,
music. I
some
don't
people
know.
love it.
It's part
Obviously,
of hip
some
hop
people hate
culture.
it. Obviously, some people hate it. Like, I think
Yeah,
he's an
I don't know.
arrogant.
I'm
I
not here
think
to
he's an
say it's
arrogant.
good or bad. I just
It's not
don't care.
about good or bad. It's about what you dislike, the reasons why. I
No,
don't
we're
like his
talking about
personality.
is
I
he
don't
the
like
greatest of
Floyd's
all time?
personality. There you go.
And I'm
I don't like
saying
his
I don't feel he's
personality.
the greatest of all time. That's all. That's all what it amounts to.
Yeah.
He's not the greatest of all time. I don't
Okay.
think he's the greatest of all time. If anybody, Sugar Ray Leonard is a more
Yeah, but your
qualified
reasons for
greatest of all
saying,
time.
yeah, but the reasons, Matt, if you said I don't believe he's the greatest of all time because he's bald, that's a very bad reason.
No,
That
number
then I
one,
then
I think Sugar Ray Leonard beats him in a fight. I think
okay,
Sugar Ray Leonard stops him. That's
okay,
like probably the
that's
the
fine.
first reason.
Well, that's it. See, that's better. That's better than saying, oh, he's boring. I reckon Tommy
Well,
Hearns beats him as well.
well, that's subjective. That's an opinion. I don't know. Some people may think I don't know. Tommy Hearns beats him. I don't know about that. I think Sugar Ray Leonard beats him. I don't know. Tommy might lose. He's too big. Well, I don't know. I don't even. I mean, Tommy Hearns lost to Sugar Ray Leonard, so that I don't even consider some things. There's a lot to think about, man. Some things I just don't consider,
Yeah,
and
when did he lose?
that's a.
Like in the 13th, 14th round, he gassed out against, he got broken down against Leonard. What round?
It was before my time. As somebody that knows more,
He lost.
probably
I know he
knows.
lost late in the fight. I mean, Floyd fights in the 12 round era. I mean,
Well,
depends.
Floyd is a defensive master, which that's what he hangs his hat on. Tommy Hearns is a big puncher. I don't know. I probably
And he was a
lean
great
towards
boxer. He had a great
Tommy
jab.
Hearns knocking him
Huge.
out. He's just gonna catch him with the right hand and end his night. But you know, different time, different era. I mean, Floyd was great. I don't know. People may think I'm don't like him or talking shit. Like I said, I bought his fights, so obviously I'm just I don't know either stupid or I just love boxing. It's just I love boxing, so I bought all his fights.
Yeah,
I even
I
bought the
know. You're a
Carlos.
good boy. You're a good boy.
I bought the Carlos Baltimore fight, and that was a
So you hang
stinker.
on. You bought all of Floyd's fights, did you say?
Damn near, I probably bought most of
Okay,
them
but why? If he was a boring fighter, why?
because
You
I
didn't.
love boxing. It's like anything. I love boxing. That's just
Okay.
it. You know. Um, I do my.
A
I got
lot
all
of
the
a lot of
subscriptions.
people paid for Floyd's fights because they wanted to see him lose.
That too. That too. I thought the best chance was Miguel Cotto, even though I knew better. I knew Floyd would probably beat Miguel, but I mean, I was hoping Miguel beat him. So yeah.
Boxer to play watch.
But I never thought Andre Berto had a chance. Like, geez, that was a
You
waste.
didn't think Manny Pacquiao had a good chance?
Oh yeah, I thought Manny Pacquiao for sure would beat him. I was praying. I had dreams Manny Pacquiao beat him, but
Hey,
yeah, I was wrong.
I thought Canelo. I was supporting Canelo to beat Floyd. I bought that fight.
I
I'm pretty
thought
sure I bought that
Canelo.
fight.
I thought Canelo was for sure gonna beat Floyd. Then he got his
Yeah,
ass whipped.
yep.
So
I actually
that's
didn't mind. I didn't mind Canelo when he was coming up. Actually,
so man. I mean, that's what I say, man. I mean, I talk on here. I'm a fan just like everybody. I don't try to be like I know more than boxing than anybody. I buy these fights because I'm a fan, but obviously I wasn't analyzing it correctly when I picked Canelo over Floyd, and he just
uh,
outboxed him. He completely
yeah,
outboxed him.
it
But
was way
I
too
think
fast. It was way too fast.
Canelo fought the wrong fight. He tried to outbox a boxer, which was just like it was just I don't know frustrating. I still watch it sometimes, and I yell at Canelo like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like
Yeah, but
he just
it's hard to jump on that guy when he's like so much faster. His footwork was faster. His hand speed was just too fast. It's hard. It's easy to say I just jump on him and
yeah,
all, but he,
but
he
but
was eating shots. He was
we
eating
come from
shots.
watching Julio Cesar Chavez,
Yeah,
that's what we want
yeah,
to see, a guy go out on a
yeah.
shield.
He's not
Say
that
what you
fighter.
say
He's
what you
not.
want about Julio Cesar Chavez, but he went for it.
Yep.
He's probably to me one the greatest fight of all time. Like again, I wasn't in different eras, so they have their own era, their own greatest fights. But personally, watching the greatest fight of all time was Mildred Taylor, Julio
Yep.
Cesar Chavez. Um, it just was amazing to see him walk through that guy's just speed and power. It would be like
Yep.
watching Virgil Ortiz walk through Boots Ennis, just getting peppered.
Yep.
I mean, he was getting tagged all
Yeah, but
night.
that's why. Yeah, that's why I don't have as much respect for these modern fighters. That's why I'm a fan of Benavidez because to me he's like a Chavez type fighter. He's a bigger version
Well,
of Chavez.
I
This
mean,
guy
and
is
again,
going to come
I,
forward. I
I'm
have
not a
100% faith.
but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a Canelo fanboy either because one of the things that I stopped being a fan of him was after that Floyd fight because he just stood there. It's like, man, push this shit. Like, what are you waiting
Yeah.
for? I kind of like, took him as whatever. But yeah, he's no Julio Cesar Chavez. He didn't. He's no Marco Barrera. He's no Eric Morales. Those guys were in firefights. Um,
Yep.
I
That's why I
still
call him a
remember.
diva.
I still remember Morales Pacquiao. I still remember Morales Barrera, Pacquiao, Marquez. I mean, those were firefights, man.
Yep. Mexican style.
Floyd for all his boringness. I mean, Castillo Mayweather was a hell of a fight. I mean, that was man. Whew. I mean, I don't think it was like a
I never really
firefight
watched
like
that.
Morales Barrera, but
Uh,
they were both throwing shots. Floyd was getting buckled. I mean, Castillo was buckling him over. Um, but the only knock on Chavez was I just seen some was honest. If I'm honest, I think he lost to Whitaker. I have to watch it again, but you know, nobody in that house was happy that night.
And
I
you
can
don't
tell you
think
that much.
you don't think Medrick Taylor's decision was a bit of a robbery? Only 1.5 seconds left.
Man, don't burst
What
my bubble, rap star.
1.5
Let's
seconds left,
just.
Raj. Just
Yeah, I
one
think that was a
second.
scam.
Don't you think? And he was winning the whole fucking fight, and all of a sudden Chavez put it on him, right? And then he got hurt and he got buckled, and then once he got buckled, he got back up. He got back up. It was 1 second. That was fucked
Yeah,
up, bro.
Yeah,
I
That
but
don't
he
was
like.
was out
Don
on his
King.
feet.
That was Don King at his finest, bro.
Yeah, but
Nah,
the
he was
referee
out on his
said.
feet, bro. Don't
Yeah,
diminish
but
it, rap
the re,
star.
yeah, but the referee.
No,
I
I
think he
gotta
should
go with I
consider.
like a bit of controversy.
The
Come on.
referee
Okay, I
should
know how you are.
consider the
You gotta
time
have a bit
left.
of
He
fun.
should. The fighter
But it's the
deserves.
truth though, isn't it, Frank? You think about it. Frank,
No, I know what you're saying,
there's
but I
logic
want to
there,
keep
Frank.
the.
There's logic there.
No, I
One
didn't say it, but
second.
I want to keep my illusion. Don't destroy my illusions.
Who cares if he was out on his feet? There was 2 seconds left. The referee says, "Oh, I don't consider that. I just look at a fighter if he's
But
hurt."
bro, they fought a rematch and it wasn't even a match, so that should tell you how
Irrelevant.
bad he got beat.
Irrelevant.
Nah,
Irrelevant.
dude, he was never the same. Chavez
He
took
was
the
never
life
the
out of him.
same after
All
that,
that
but
matters is that
he could
night.
have
On
won
that
that
night.
fight.
All that matters is on that night. He
No,
won that. He
Chavez
deserved that
beat
fight.
beat the soul out of him. No disrespect. Like that's just the
Sure,
monster that
but
Chavez
he
was.
still should have. He should have. He earned the 2 seconds or whatever. He earned that. You
Yeah,
don't
but
just
if that
stop
was
it.
the case, then he would have won in the rematch. But
No.
Chavez was the better
This is where your
fighter.
logic. This is where you start saying dumb shit again. See, we are going okay and just fucked it all up. That these fights are separate. You can look great on one fight and then look terrible in the other fight. It happens. He deserved the benefit on that night. He was ahead. He outboxed Chavez.
Uh,
Maybe even if that
I mean, it
proved,
was
even
a
if Chavez
firefight.
proved there was, even if Chavez proved in the rematch the first fight was a fluke, whatever, he deserved that fluke. He 2 seconds left. Give him it. That's my position.
Even the chat people believe that wasn't fair. Some people in the chat said it was
And that,
stopped
what
too
was the
late.
referee's name? He's still around today. How are these fuckers
Was
around
it Richard
so long?
Steele? It wasn't
Yeah,
Richard.
Richard Steele. Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
Was it him?
yeah, it was him.
Fucking hell, bro. That
I
was
don't
the
know
man.
how they were around for so long because
But you
these
gotta give
guys.
it a Chavez, man. How the fuck did he land those shots getting out of box the way he did? He started landing shots in the last
He,
round.
he was he
He was
wasn't even
getting
marked up.
outboxed.
Yeah, but he wasn't even getting marked up. He was giving out the punishment really, even though he was taking more shots, his shots were heavier. His shots were counting more, and he was fucking. He broke him down. He broke him down.
Yeah, but he lost. I mean, it is what it is. And you can't say that he didn't lose. I mean, he was out on his feet. I mean, I know the controversy, but shit, that's boxing, man. It's a lot of controversy.
Yeah, but a lot of fighters are allowed to carry on even if they're out on the feet. He
Yeah, but
wasn't
that
even
was
wobbling. I know the
yeah, but
controversy when he asked him to cut to step forward, and he was looking in his corner. When was it Lou DiBella? He called out to him at that moment, so that he was apparently distracted, and he didn't respond to the referee's commands. That was a sort of controversy. But yeah,
that was a crazy time, man. When I saw that fight, I couldn't believe it. That there was 1.5, 2 seconds left.
tragic. It's tragic.
I mean, yeah, Chavez did knock him out. Like knock him down. He knocked him down. He knocked him down hard. The thing was the man got up. He only needed 2 seconds. He would have won that fight.
Yeah, but he was battered, man. I mean, he was a beaten man. Hey, look at his face; it was swollen. Oh man, it was brutal. And the body shots he was taking. I mean, watch it again, bro. Those body shots would have stopped anybody else. I mean, that guy was an exceptional fighter, man. But that fight ruined his career. That just
Right.
demonstrates the type of monster that Chavez was. If people forget, and why people loved him so much.
What about the Pernell Whitaker?
Like I said, man, you know what, man? Dude, I can tell you that people were not happy that night. That's all I know.
People
I mean,
had Whitaker winning, bro.
even though he won, um, people were not like
I
celebrating,
thought
if you
the
know what I
fight
mean.
was a draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, it could have went either way, I guess, but more the fair decision would have been a draw. I mean, didn't Sports Illustrated? Do people still read magazines? You guys remember Sports Illustrated?
Well, yeah, but
It was like the biggest magazine at the time. I think they had it. They said robbery, but it just looked bad because he was, Whitaker was making a miss. He was, doing all his little moves. But it's not like he did very much anyway either.
yeah, he did feel like you could see he kind of outboxed Chavez in the fight a little bit.
Yeah, but there's making a guy miss, but you got to make him pay. Like you can't just make a guy miss. You can't win defense on defense alone.
The thing with Chavez, he did fight everyone as well. He fought all comers. He fought a lot of
Yeah,
people.
man. I mean, think about it too. That was at a time when it was like Don King and Bob Arum. I think like Chavez fought on Showtime. He wasn't HBO. He would do like Don King pay-per-views. But they still made the fights, you know?
Hey, Mirage, you keep showing this David Benavidez playback. Is that what you think he's going to do to Kalen Plant or what?
That's exactly what it's gonna do to David Benavidez.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
How you been?
Chilling, man. Just got off. I'm
Oh,
gonna be here for a little bit because I'm gotta get back on the road and then I come join back because I'm having music playing in the background. But yeah, I just want to talk about Frank over here is talking crazy about TBE.
okay.
It's like a lot of absurdity. You know what I'm saying?
Tell us. Talk to us.
Like the guy, he meets the criteria to be one of the best. See,
Wait, that's your criteria. What fucking real
listen, man, because
objective
I
criteria
gotta
is
agree
there?
with Mirage here. I gotta agree with Mirage. It's all based
Shit.
on in-ring work. What applies outside of the ring does not apply inside of the ring. Well,
Show me where it says
once
that.
these two guys
Where's
get
the rule book
what
on that? Where's the
what
rule
is the
book on
sport?
that?
What is the sport based off of?
Well, show
Two
me the
guys
rule
in the
book.
ring
Show me
fighting, right?
the law where it says that. Did you make
But
this
I'm
law
saying
or
that
is it objective? So
it's
you
objective.
wrote the book. Okay, then
It's
start there.
objective. It's
Okay,
objective of
start.
their
Okay,
skill
good.
base, right? But what I'm gonna say is this is why there can be no one great. There's only multiple greats. There's multiple grades. There can be no one grade.
But why do I have to accept yours? Are you gonna accept mine?
Because we got to use logic here. It's got to be logical. If we're not talking logic, then we're talking the rubbish.
Logic based on what?
What do you mean?
Well, what set of rules or laws are you using? Logic, there's rules to logic in itself. So you need to apply that.
I'm applying the in-ring skill that these guys bring.
Okay, so it's based on, so you're setting the criteria. This is a logical, factual criteria. Or is this your own? This is something you made up. This is just the book of tip.
Man, listen. You can say it's my own. You can say it's,
Okay.
You can say it's others as well, because others might have the same opinion. We never know.
Okay, so go ahead, make your case.
No, that's my case, man.
Huh?
It's all based on in-ring criteria. You know what I'm saying? How these guys perform. People
And so
may say
how does Floyd meet that
Floyd
criteria?
lost to Castillo, but what did Floyd do when he came back the second time against Castillo?
He stunk the joint out.
Same
That
way
was an
he did with
awful fight.
Maidana. He beat them clear.
He ran the fuck from who's in number 2. He ran all night. He did not want no parts of that. That was an awful fight.
Did he win the fight?
Yes, it was a stinker. Come on.
Did he do the same with Maidana? Did he win the Maidana fight? Yes or no?
And another stinker. That was an awful fight too.
They shamed him for fighting
I
Zab
bought the
Judah.
fight.
They shamed him for fighting Zab Judah and not Carlos Baldomir.
It was a shitty fight.
He beat Zab, and then he went to go fight Baldomir, and he still beat Baldomir.
So how does that make him the greatest, man?
I'm not. Listen, man. They setting you up against these guys that Oh shit, hold
So
on.
you think you don't think Sugar Ray's beating Duran is better than any of Floyd's wins?
I'm saying when you're beating the guys they put in front of you, that's good enough to get you in. Especially if these are considered challenges worthy of a fight.
Yeah, I know. I hear you, man. I still don't understand what you're talking about, though. You still haven't made a strong case.
Yo, Tip, where you at, bro? I don't know what happened to Tip there, bro.
Yeah, it sounded like Tip said, "I feel it because I like him." Like, did anybody hear anything else?
I think what he's saying is that whatever they do outside the ring ain't the accomplishment. How you got to look at them greatest inside the ring.
But that still didn't make his case. Like, his case is that that doesn't count. So Floyd is the best. Like, I did. Did you hear something different, Rap Star? I didn't really hear anything. It sounded like a bunch of "I like him because I like him."
Mm.
Whoa,
I'm,
I'm not even the biggest Floyd fan, bro. Trust me.
then why come
If
on here
if it's
and
one
tell me
if
that
it's
I'm
one
wrong or
per
you're right?
if it's one person to dislike Floyd, it is definitely me, man. Look, I'm telling you
Then why
now.
would you come on and try to make a case for him? That makes no sense.
Because listen, if I dislike Floyd, it has nothing to do with his boxing ability. You know what I'm saying? I might like dislike his personality because of how he presents himself. That has nothing to do with what he does in the ring. The guy, when he's in the ring, he performs. You know what I'm saying? He's a great performer in the ring. I can't deny that.
Okay. 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 So how is that any better than what Sugar Ray Leonard did or
This is
Manny
why I said
Pacquiao? Is
it's
it
no.
because they lost? Let's be honest. Like, don't split hairs. Is it just because the fact that he didn't lose?
Even
Because
with them
that's what it
losing,
would
I
sound like.
can't put anybody over anybody. This is why I
You don't
said
think a run of beating Morales, Barrera, Marquez, Hatton, like that's not equal to or better than anything that Floyd did? Because they both beat De La Hoya, and don't
I
give me
just
the other
said
shit.
I just said I
They
can't
both beat
label.
Ricky Hatton. They both beat Miguel Cotto.
I said I can't label one great, bro. I can't label one great. They're all great. I mean, you gotta think about it. Listen, Pacquiao lost to Floyd, but what did he do? He went and came into the next era and beat one of the top guys in the next era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
That's
beat your
more.
boy.
You know
Somebody that he didn't want to fight.
what?
Yeah, Floyd didn't want no part of Keith.
Oh,
He
Floyd. Oh,
told.
yeah. I know that. He wanted to fight Kareem Mayfield or Andre Berto.
Yeah, so how the fuck you get on here and start trying to knock me for what I said? That's what
But
it seemed like. I seen
I
you
mean,
sneak this, and it's cool.
it only makes it look bad because Floyd continued to fight and he didn't fight. I think
Now
he
you're
should
a
have
cool
retired.
dude, man. I could talk to you. You're a cool dude.
He should have retired after the Pacquiao fight. My personal opinion. I would,
Dude, like that's the difference. I don't have any problem with somebody saying Floyd's an all-time great because that's what they seen, right? Like somebody I've been watching boxing probably longer than some people, and there's new fans. So how can I tell them that Floyd's not the greatest? Because that's what they would know, right? Right?
you said what? Repeat that.
Like how can I tell somebody that just started following boxing, maybe around the Floyd era, and then they think Floyd's the greatest? Like how can I tell them that they're wrong? Because they grew up with their parents and barbecues and Floyd fighting Cotto, you know what I mean? How excited you are. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm talking about. It does transcend because that's how the Floyd fans felt. Like how can I tell them they're wrong? I think you're missing that part about what I was saying. Because you're growing up in that era too, right? Like you went to family parties to watch Floyd fight, right?
Floyd Floyd versus De La Hoya was the first pay per view I ever watched.
He was an event. Like he transcended. So that's why I can't tell
But
somebody that they're
e-
wrong.
even then, let me see. I still couldn't consider. I mean, what was said was Ali was the best, but then you have other guys. You know what I'm saying? That I can see, like
But okay, let me ask you something different then. Let me try to break your back. Do you think that Floyd was unbeatable? Like, do you think he could beat any fighter from any era? Like, do you think who would have won between Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather?
uh, I gotta go over it. Because I mean, no
See, the
fighter.
fact you're
No.
hesitating
What
tells
am I
me
saying? No. Because no fighter is unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? It's a fight. Anything can happen in
no,
any
but
fight.
that's the problem I do have with Flomos is they really believe that they'll sit there until they're blue in the face and tell you you're wrong because because Floyd is undefeated and he'll beat everybody and he proved it.
I mean, yeah, you should feel that way about your favorite fighter, but at some point in time, you got to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like I was arguing with Blue Blood one time, man, about Spence and Thurman. He was like, "Do you think Thurman could beat Spence?" And I was like, "Man, listen, I'm gonna chill for my dog, but I'm gonna be realistic. Yeah, I think Thurman could possibly lose that fight. You know what I'm saying? I got to be a realist. You know what I'm saying? I might like a guy, I might put him over or whatever, but I could be realistic and be like, yeah, there is a possibility Thurman can lose this fight. You know what I'm saying? Same way he did with Pacquiao. I mean, nobody saw that knockdown coming. Nobody.
Okay, yeah, but usually when people say all time great, that's what they mean is that that dude nobody could beat him. You know what I mean? Like there's people that probably believe that Ali beats everybody, you know? Like they really feel that in their heart that he beats Tyson Fury, he beats Lennox Lewis. There's people that think Sugar Ray Leonard beats Floyd, he beats Spence and Bud. And there's
Nah,
people that think Bud will beat would have whooped Sugar Ray Leonard's ass and they would have whipped Sugar Ray Robinson's ass. Like that's just people like that.
I think Ali has a tough time with Tyson Fury. I think Fury has a tough time with George Foreman.
Honestly, I
That's
think
it.
Tyson Fury beats those guys just because he's so big and can box.
I
But
don't know, man. George Foreman got the hands, man.
man, he was
Bricks.
kind of slow though, bro. He was like a caveman.
Yeah, but his power coming behind him. It's like cinder blocks hitting you.
True, true. Yeah, but but that's what I was trying to get at. That's the conversation about greatest of all time is just that really you only look stupid if you really think your guy will never lose or that he's better than everybody. My what I said was that I believe outside the ring matters just as much as inside the ring. And you came on here and said that that was wrong. So, you know, I don't know how to convince you because that's why I know you love Devin Haney. I know he's your boy, but come on, bro, you got to be honest. If he he just doesn't transcend, bro. His style just doesn't capture imaginations. Even Floyd, dude, was capturing people's imaginations. Knocking the fuck out of Dale Corrales. You can't admit that? Okay. So,
I mean,
yeah, man.
Devin
Go.
Haney is Devin Haney, bro.
Yeah, but he could go fucking 40-0 and ain't nobody gonna care. I know that hurts people's feelings, but even Floyd, man, people cared because he was exciting. That's why they say, oh, the pretty boy Floyd era, that was the best one because he was handling fools. Like the Gotti performance was just, dude, I had a fight party and that made people fall in love with them. They were like, oh, who's this fool? Like, they were casuals too, bro, and they seen that and they were like, damn, that white boy got his ass whipped, like that creates something in your mind to want to see that again. Think I would show anybody a Haney fight? I'll make them hate boxing, you know, and that's just the truth. I dare somebody to say that's not the truth. You want to kill somebody's boxing experience? Show them a Devin Haney fight. you know,
What'd you think
but
about that, Tip?
I don't know. I kind of like Devin Haney, man. Only because I like slick fighters. And Devin Haney, he's got that slick fighter style. He might not be like the hardest puncher or whatever. But
man, yeah, I ain't mad at that. Like I get it. Like, yeah, he's good, but I'm talking about transcending boxing, becoming mainstream. And would put you in the greatest of all time conversation.
I think Devin Haney could get in the greatest of all times conversation. Listen,
Dude,
if you
not
put,
like this.
listen, all Devin has to do is win. None of that other shit even matters. As long as Devin wins, he's going to be in that greatest of all time conversation, regardless if he's not knocking the motherfucker out or not, or the fight is boring. As long as that motherfucker win, you can't say shit. I mean, what can you say? You're just gonna speak bad on about what he didn't do outside of not losing.
Yeah, I think you're missing the point of the what I'm saying about being the greatest of all time. Like you have to be both. That's the part I'm saying. You're saying it doesn't matter, so we're not agreeing on that, on what it takes to be considered the greatest of all time. I mean, because at the end of the day, bro, it's the fans, and you got to give the fans what they want. Now, I know I hear it all the time. Oh, you don't understand boxing. You want to see rock'em sock'em robots, but you know that's what people remember. Why the
And
fuck you think we remember Mike Tyson? What
and
what
this
what do you think made him? If he had been fucking Chris Bird,
and
do you
this is
think
what's
he'd
gonna
have?
make Devin great. People are gonna be like, people are gonna start to realize that Devin is so good that it's going to be a Floyd situation, bro, where they're going to start throwing fighters in there like a Maidana style fighter, like they're doing right now with Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's going to come forward and try to press him. And you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
When Devin starts beating him, you know, he's going to start to pick up even more heat, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay, man. Because as of right now, you know, Ryan has more endorsements and is a bigger name and getting more press and pub than that dude.
He
So,
he might
you
have all
know,
that, but listen, as
now
long as
people
that
hate Ryan Garcia, but he has more of a chance to be face of boxing than Devin Haney. I'm
it,
telling you, bro. Just
it's
trust me
pretty
on this. Trust me.
it's pretty boy Golden Boy all over again, bro. That's literally what it is. That's what I'm looking at in real time.
What are you talking about? What
Like
are you talking about?
between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia.
Oh,
Uh,
you're saying they're building it up to like an
yeah,
Oscar
yeah.
Floyd thing?
That's basically how I see it.
Yeah, that could be true. And you're saying Haney's gonna be the Floyd and beat him and then become a massive star.
Listen, Devin is that good, bro.
You know what? And he may well be, but he just doesn't do it for the fans, dude. Like you're missing what I'm saying. Like, how do you think these guys become the stars they are? Is
But
because people watch them and get
listen.
excited.
People start to cherish certain things. You know what
No,
I'm
you're
saying?
missing that. You're trying to say that Floyd was boring. He wasn't always boring, bro.
I'm not
He was
saying
doing
no.
things that people wanted to see.
People say Floyd was born. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think that.
So, that's what made Manny so great, bro, is because he wasn't boxing his way. Like, dude, Manny he was going through those same lower weight classes, 130, 126, 130, where Devin's started. I think he started at 130 or 26.
It's
Did he?
like this. Cool. What I was
Huh?
about to say is, it takes two to tango. You just gotta throw a dance partner in there with Devin. It's literally what you gotta do. You gotta
Nah,
throw a
nah, nah,
dance
nah,
partner
nah,
in there.
nah. You didn't have to throw nothing. Manny Pacquiao was a shark, bro. He's like a shark that wants to eat. That's what made people want to watch him fight. They said,
That's
"Who's
because
this
of
little
Manny's style. Devin
Who's
just
this
has
little
that.
Filipino?" But that's what I'm
That
saying. That's why it matters, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's how you transcend. It has to be that. You have to have that. And you're trying to say that Haney, but it'll come in time. And I'm saying it didn't. It didn't come with time with Floyd. He was knocking out Gennaro
yeah,
Hernandez.
but what I'm saying is when you throw that dance partner in there, you know what I'm saying
Hmm.
with a Devin Haney, bro, people are gonna start looking at Haney a little bit different. Like, whoa, I actually kind of like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, man, I think you'll be waiting a long time, Tip. I mean, I admire your fastidiousness, staying to one track and praying and hoping. But I think you'll be praying and hoping a while, especially if he doesn't fight Lomachenko. If he does, he has no hope, bro. He's not going to become what you guys want him to be. Want him to be. But you say you're not even a fan of him, are you?
Who?
Oh, you say you are a fan.
A fan of who?
Devin Haney.
I ain't got no problem with that.
I mean, I understand your love of Keith Thurman. I mean, Keith, he brought it, bro. He had some good, exciting fights. So I can get that. I don't get the Haney. I really don't. I'm being biased. I know I am, and it's my bias for more action oriented fighters, which I can admit. I I just really don't understand the the Haney, the love for Devin Haney.
I don't know. It may just be me doing the eye test and just looking at the technique. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's that jab and grab. I just can't appreciate that.
Yeah, I love that stiff jab. The stiff jab to the solar plex, that's a beautiful shot. Every time I look at it,
And the 60 clinches,
I'm
you
not paying
love that.
attention to I'm not paying attention to that. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you looking at it, I mean you'd be like, damn,
Yeah, I mean,
he's throwing that jab and he's not getting hit. I mean
I give him that it's effective and it can win a lot of matches, but if your goal is to win, okay, more power to you. But if your goal is to become a superstar, that's not gonna cut it. So, Devin Haney will have been a good fighter that we watched, but when we look down the road, people are not gonna be talking about him. Like we're talking, like you and I are arguing about Floyd and about Pacquiao. Ain't nobody arguing about that dude, man. Like, I've literally never had a conversation with anybody but boxing junkies about Devin Haney. Like people on the street, people that at my softball games, I'm playing pickup basketball. Like, be honest, do you play any other sports?
Yeah. I play basketball.
You go hoop at the park or the rec center, right? Have you ever had a conversation about Devin fucking Haney? And not that you initiated it. Someone said, "Yo, bro, do you watch that Devin fight? Oh my god."
Oh, my cousin. That's about it.
Exactly.
Me and my cousin, we talk about Tank and Devin all the time.
Okay, excluding your cousin, like a stranger at at the rec center hooping. Oh man, yeah, man. You watch that Haney shit? Hell nah. You don't really give a fuck about him.
Anybody else I know personally outside of like the boxing gym, they wouldn't talk about boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like just football, basketball.
Yeah,
like,
but even even during those times, like going to the gym, the boxing gym, or playing pickup basketball at the park or rec center, like people were talking about Floyd fights and, hey man, you about to watch the Floyd fight? You want to watch the Pacquiao fight? People were talking about it. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like he has to have a fight like that soon for people to start, wanting to talk about him.
It's like Fraternal House said. He was like, Haney's last 6 dance partners were boring fights because Devin's outclassing them, bro.
Nah, but they were lackluster opponents too. They weren't even legit 135 pounders.
I mean,
let's be real.
Let's just imagine what Tio would have possibly did if he didn't have the breathing problem.
Even Tio in losses is more exciting than that dude. Like, he has more of a chance to become a crossover star and start selling pay-per-views and magazine covers and endorsements than that dude.
That could be because of Tio's style too.
But that's what we're talking about, the conversation. Greatest of all time, like that. And you're trying to tell me that crossover appeal doesn't matter. Like, outside of the ring doesn't matter. Dude, if it didn't fucking matter, then they wouldn't be getting all this money for endorsements. Like, what do you think they give him the money for? What the fuck? You think Ryan Garcia is doing NFL commercials for? So, tell me again how it doesn't matter? Especially if you want to sell pay-per-views, Like, half the probably, nah, dude, I think 90% of the reason people believe Floyd's the greatest is because he sold so many pay-per-views, Literally, when I argue about Floyd, they say, well, he has the most pay-per-view sales ever. He's the greatest of all time. That's literally like their main and number one argument.
Nah.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I've argued with plenty of people about him.
20. Listen, man. Floyd said it himself. He beat 20 world champions.
But the greatest of conversation, he's in that because
that was Floyd. Floyd Cell has always been him beating 20 champions.
Bro.
If you
that's
listen
why
to
he's in the conversation, because he crossed over. Like,
but listen, you gotta understand.
You told me it didn't matter.
It's the commentators selling you the defensive skills and all that. That's not Floyd. When you watch the fight, the casual person is listening to the commentators say that. They're like, Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest defensive fighters ever. And you know what I'm saying? People are going to buy that. And when they buy it, you know what I'm saying? It's what the commentators are selling you. and then people start to it becomes a promotion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's then promoted as the best defensive fighter ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No.
And if people are buying that, guess what Floyd's going to do? Floyd's going to jump into that market and he's going to continue to sell it as well.
Okay. And again, it goes back to what I was saying, that it matters, that the outside the ring matters. Because your whole argument was that it didn't matter. And the reason we talk about Floyd is because it definitely matters. Somehow, some way he transcended, being a kind of defensive fighter. Um, but a lot of that was built on his early career. Somebody brought up that Floyd's biggest fight didn't happen till his 39th fight. So he had to do a lot of work before then. It's not like he was 20-0 and it became an overnight success. He had a couple pay-per-view duds, a couple lackluster fights. I think people got mad when I said that. They said, "Oh, Floyd, they think he walks on water." They said, "Oh, he never had no dips in his career." I said, "Well, I mean, getting booed and told on live TV that your fights suck, to me, that's kind of a knock, don't you think?" Right? Shit.
Hold on, I'm
If it
looking at Floyd's record,
yeah,
bro.
if it was today, man, people see Manny Pacquiao sleeping in the fucking ring. And did they stop being fans? Nah, man. They were like, "Oh shit, man, shit. Let's see if he can come back." Like, think about it. Long enough, this last dude got fucking slept. Wilder. They ain't nobody buying his shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were buying his shit because he was knocking everybody out. But once they seen him get slept, they were like, "Man, I'm not buying that dude's shit no more." Like, especially if you're a fan of him, your heart was broken, But that's the difference as far as like how you transcend about what you do for people. Because when Manny got slept, shit, even before that, he lost to fucking Eric Morales, and dude, his star just kept rising. You know, shit, you can't tell me that if Floyd lost, that he wouldn't have crashed and came back to earth. You know, so man, all that matters, dude. Manny Pacquiao transcended because of the way he fought. He came with that action, wanting to give people what they want. Well, hop on, McSmith. No, let's chat. Let's talk. I don't like to talk to hear myself talk. I just had to set Tip straight because he was sneak dissing. He's a cool guy, but
John been hating. He said no one paid a ticket to see.
I just I have to set him straight. But he can set me straight. I'm open minded. I don't. Again, man, it's his opinion, which I respect. But I'm just trying to show him that it matters, because he told me the outside of the ring doesn't matter, and I'm trying to convince him and show him that it absolutely matters.
So wait, so John says no one paid a ticket to see Floyd play defense. That's retarded. Okay, John. Then why? Then for the people who hated Floyd, why were they buying Floyd fights to see him lose? Right?
I know that's why I did.
To see him lose, right?
Yep.
And if he wasn't losing, what were people praising him for? Being defensively good. They thought people couldn't crack the defense, and so they try to matchmake him with somebody who could get through the defense. That's what it was, John. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I know what he's saying. He talks a lot of shit, but I mean, I think the casual fan, I'm a casual fan too, but the people I watched the fights with did kind of get bored. Like, you can't tell me the Baltimore fight was not just an awful piss ass fight. Like, it was just boring.
I gotta go back and watch it.
Oh my gosh. Even the Berto fight was kind of lackluster.
I didn't watch.
Oh no, that
I didn't watch the
Berto
Berto fight. I didn't like the
trash.
Berto fight.
Thank you. Finally, someone with some fucking sense.
I thought the Berto fight. Listen,
Jeez.
Only because Berto, I think 3 fights before that, Berto had torn
shoulder.
He tore his shoulder.
No, dude, I want you to go. There's a video where Berto talks about the fight, and he said, "Dude, I've never seen a guy watch the clock as much as Floyd." He said Floyd literally did not want to fight. He was like, I was waiting to like fight this amazing fighter. Like Berto wanted that smoke, and he said all did do was pot shot me and then grab me, and then watch the clock. Dude, I believe Berto. Like he goes to a lot of fights, bro. He's pretty active in the
What you saying,
boxing
Max?
community.
What's up, Max?
Yo, what up? What up? What up? I actually just woke up, so I saw y'all was on. I just hopped on.
Yeah. What do you think of Floyd Mayweather, Max?
He's not my favorite fighter.
Is he one of
Um,
the greatest though, due to skills?
um, that's tough because he did have skills, but I wouldn't say he's like top five all time greatest. I laugh. I think I saw an interview one time where he got offended because ESPN didn't put him in like the top five greatest of all time. Did you guys see? I think it was like last year. There was like I don't know if he was like at the Hall of Fame, like me inductee. Yeah, that was just recent.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he
okay. I
kept
know.
it was so funny because it felt like he was pleading his case on why he is the greatest of all time. And I'm like, well, you don't really have to plead your case if you are. You know what I mean? People will do that for you. But I think his ego is so fragile that he always has to remind someone that he's like 50-0 and that, you know, he this and that. And I'm like, well, dude, I feel like you did a lot of picking your opponents at the right time. I think that, you know, you never really. I think one of the most exciting fights that I seen Mayweather was the Maidana fight, the first one. You know what I mean? Because we finally saw Floyd get, you
What
know.
about Mayweather and Diego Corrales? One of the most
Oh well,
exciting
yeah,
fights.
yeah, well, yeah.
Arturo Getty.
I mean, probably that's like
You know, those were
top
fucking
top
yeah.
two, maybe
Well, all
number
right. So,
one.
what guys didn't Mayweather fight that we wanted to see?
Because Margarito would have got beaten the fuck out of him from Mayweather anyway.
Oh
So
yeah,
when people use Margarito would have lose to Mayweather. So the only other man that you got is Paul Williams, and Paul Williams went up to 154. He moved up
Mhm.
in weight anyway. So there is not really any fighter you can say Mayweather avoided. Who did he avoid?
I
no, but
mean,
Beat
I think
Canelo Alvarez at his early age.
yeah, I know there's a lot of people. I hate when people talk about Canelo and Mayweather because I feel like Canelo was just so if you're gonna be like, oh well, he's amateurs and all this, but Canelo was still like still learning, bro. He was so young.
oh, he was definitely green. You could see it in the fight that he was green.
You know what I mean?
But you got to
And
blame Oscar De La Hoya for that, and then you have to blame what was it, HBO? Was it HBO or
yeah,
Showtime? Yeah, they were
not
promoting Canelo's. They were saying he wasn't going to fight Canelo Alvarez. That's
yeah,
not Floyd's fault. That's that once again. That's the networks, the media. They
yeah,
are promoting these fights, and Floyd is picking them up.
yeah. Yeah, I just never Floyd's never been like I said, he's not one of my favorite fighters, but I mean I can't deny his that I think the biggest thing that I always admired about him though, regardless if I ain't like him as a fighter, was his dedication to the sport. Like that dude was dedicated, so that's
I
my two
think
piece.
I think Floyd knew that Thurman was a little bit more dangerous than
Oh
Canelo.
my god, I'm going back to back. I'm going back to back.
No, but we really got to think about it. Like, as green as Canelo was around that time, and the time Keith Thurman was coming up, who was more green? Would you say?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Tip. Thurman back then, yeah, he was a problem. He was elite, you know.
I just think that fight was better than a Canelo around that time or Berto. Around the time he faced Berto. I don't know, man.
But Max, who's your favorite fighter of all time, Max?
I was a
Or the
big.
greatest, or the greatest, or who's your greatest?
Well, no, hold on. Let me answer the first question. I think most like I have two. So I have Manny Pacquiao and I have Miguel Cotto. Those are like my two top favorite fighters of all time. Um, greatest, damn, greatest. I would put, even though I've seen a lot of I've seen a good amount of his fights. I can't say all of them, but Julio Cesar. I think he's probably in that category for me. And Pac-Man still. I mean, because I got to follow his career, so I was able to see his fights moving up all these divisions, and I feel like he never ducked the smoke. And I think who was it? Frank in the chat. I think Frank was talking about, or was it Tip? I saw my favorite fighter get knocked out. But that still didn't stop me.
I'm still
Knowing that
mad
he was the
Pacquiao fought
greatest.
that fight the way he did
You know what
because
I mean? I think that's what made a lot of fans love Manny because Manny never ducked smoke and he kept coming. You know what I mean?
that's the reason he lost the way he got knocked out because he kept
Yeah, I still remember that, man. He was,
he
oh
won
my
the
god.
round. He won the round and he
Yeah,
kept pressing forward. You know what I'm saying? At a time where like you don't have to press forward. You already won
I
the round.
know, man. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy, yeah. But what about you guys? Who did you guys say was the greatest of all time in your opinion?
I don't really have the greatest of all time. I don't have a the greatest of all time. I mean,
Gotcha.
I can make a case for like guys being in that category of greatest of all time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of names you could throw in there. I don't want to go over that.
Now let me ask you a question. What's the greatest fight you've ever seen? Not like, but I mean like a live fight that you got to watch the pay-per-view.
You said a live fight, and I didn't watch the pay per view.
Yeah, no, like for example, like you actually ordered or watched the fight live as it when it was happening. What's the greatest fight you saw live happening?
It's got to be Thurman Porter. That was a bomb.
Really?
That was a barn burner. Uh, Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz.
Okay.
That was a fucking fight.
Yeah.
Uh, damn, who else? I did like Wilder Severn too because of the knockout.
Yeah.
It was it didn't take long. It was like first round. That was a good one. Damn, exciting fights that I watched live.
I think for me it was Oscar De La Hoya versus Tito Trinidad. I still to this day say Oscar won that fight, man. But that was wow, man. That was a brawl. That was a
Oh,
great fight.
Trinidad versus what the hell is the guy's name, bro? Where fucking Trinidad was getting beat the fuck up on the ropes and then he knocked him out. Was
Uh,
it Jose Luis Castillo? Was that it?
I'm not sure.
Hold on.
Man, I'm gonna give you some fights that which really stood out to me when I was a young kid.
Oh,
When I was in the boxing gyms when I was a little kid, and I came out and I was watching this fight, and it was called Prince Nassim Hamed versus Kevin Kelly. What a fight, bro! There was knockdowns in that fight, and Prince Nassim got knocked down for and then he came back and knocked Kelly down again. Kelly got a quick flash knockdown, and then Prince came and stopped Kelly. That was one big fight. Prince
yeah,
Nassim Hamed versus Kevin Kelly. And there was another one when Nassim Hamed beat up Augie Sanchez. Augie Sanchez beat Floyd Mayweather in the amateurs. And Prince Nassim Hamed knocked out Augie Sanchez and broke his jaw and
yeah,
everything. Finished him, retired him. And Mike Tyson, when I was a little kid, Mike Tyson beating up Frank Bruno.
yeah.
That was serious, bro. Mike Tyson was like a little pit bull. Um, who else do I remember which stood out? Funny
Uh,
enough, Eric Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera.
Yeah.
Serious fights. Toe to
uh,
toe, toe to toe, punch for punch.
Yeah.
Ward Gotti.
Yeah.
Award Gotti, yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
massacre.
Yeah, that was
Those
a good one. one of the most entertaining fights in recent years. I felt like cherry pick gone wrong. Man,
Yeah,
I feel
Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, bro.
well that one for sure. I was gonna say Adrian Broner and Maidana.
Mike
Man,
Tyson versus Mitch Green.
oh
That was a serious fight. I went back in time and did my history
yeah.
when I watched Marvin Hagler versus Thomas Hitman Hearns. What a fight.
Did you see the Nigel Benn and what's the other
Kirill
guy?
McKillen.
Yeah,
Man, I watched that live, bro. That was
get the freak out of here.
I was a little kid again. I watched all those fights when I was a young boy. I watched that live on TV. Man, that fight was crazy. It had England on its back. Hey, let me tell you, man, that fight was one of the greatest fights, but one of the saddest fights. One of the saddest fights at the end. You know what I mean?
Shout out to my day ones. He said Oscar did win. Yeah, that Tito Trinidad fight. I watched it multiple times, and oh man, I still think Oscar won that fight.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I used to like watching Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah,
I watch highlights all the time, man.
he was
You, you
entertaining as hell. Yeah.
you can't help but to watch
Roy
those. Like
Jones
you,
Jr. versus James Toney was a massive fight.
Oh, that was one for the books, bro. I
like
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you have to watch Roy Jones. If you're getting into boxing, watching Roy Jones is a must.
yeah.
Hey, bro, you can say what you want, but Ricky Hatton versus Floyd Mayweather was a big fight for us. Ricky Hatton and Floyd Mayweather was a big fight at the time. People can
At
say
the
what they want.
time,
Listen,
yeah.
Ricky Hatton was 40-0 or something like that. Ricky Hatton beaten Costa Zoo, Castillo. He knocked out Castillo. So Ricky Hatton was on a win-win. But boy, Floyd Mayweather fucked him up at the end. Floyd Mayweather knocked the hitman out, bro. The first man to knock out the hitman.
John McSmith said Riddick Bowe. I wish we would have got Riddick Bowe versus your guy Rapper from the UK.
Hey, John says he can't stand Roy Jones. Oh my god.
That is crazy. I'm starting to question John.
John.
You can't stand
He
Roy.
said he can't stand Roy Jones, bro. Jeez. Everybody got their own likings, man.
John was a Joe Calzaghe fan.
Joe Calzaghe was good too.
Man,
Joe Calzaghe was good too, bro.
what do you think about the Chocolatito fight coming up
Yeah,
next
that's a
month?
big fight. That's a huge fight. Hey, Max, I want you to pray for this guy. Why you not, you know what I mean? You haven't given your prayers for the guy who's
Man,
in a coma, bro.
man, I pray. I hope the brother makes it out, man. I mean, I hear you and I hear Punch and I hear a couple of other commentators talk about, the reality of the sport of boxing, and
Man, everybody get your praying hands up, bro. Put your praying hands up. Pray for this guy, man. Because, we don't want to hear no bad news.
nah, for sure.
I want people to put their praying hands up.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Stop this. Gotta start praying for this guy, man. This is sad news, man. This is really bad shit, man. Fucking guy got problems and now it's probably in the brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over boxing.
Yo, you know what's crazy? You guys had a 7-hour show last night, didn't you?
Yeah. Looks like it. I don't even remember.
Dude, I was driving for like 3 hours and I heard heard the rest of the show last night, like the replay. And I was like, these dudes went for 7 hours. And of course you had the homie over here talking about Keith Thurman.
Man is a future Hall of Famer.
He's not currently though. You wouldn't say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer
No,
currently.
not first ballot. No, I mean if he beat Pacquiao, he would have been first ballot.
I used to be a big. I mean, no, I can't say I used to, but I used to really love watching Danny Garcia fights. Man, he was
Danny
one
was
of.
exciting. I was a Zab Judah fan.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
So
Zabzuda, Danny Garcia.
me watching Danny beat Zab, it just didn't feel right. Cause I'm like,
Yo,
Hey, bro, I want to talk about this fight, yeah? I really do want to talk about this fight
yeah,
for a minute. Biggest undisputed fight in the world. Arthur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol.
I like this matchup.
You know,
yeah, me too.
this matchup could be a big matchup, bro. This could be a big fight. What do you think about this?
Bivol, he's got a big punch behind his jab. And he knows how to box, something Joe Smith didn't do in the fight against Better Be.
Better, yeah.
Like I said last time, Joe Smith came out. He tried to box him, and then he got hit, and then he just shook the fuck up.
Yo, I remember that. Joe Smith, yeah.
And it didn't make sense. I don't think Bivol's going to be composed in that ring. And
Yeah,
Bivol doesn't fight reckless enough to put himself in danger.
yeah, you're right. He's very disciplined. Very disciplined.
The thing is, he has to be disciplined for 12 rounds.
I think he
Because
does.
because
Well, he's done
you know
it. He's done it with
the other
Canelo.
guy is not as good as a boxer, but the other guy, he's got such a brawling style. If he breaks your style, and he only has to be good for tip. Beterbiev has to be good for 1 round. Bivol's got to be great for 12 rounds.
Hmm.
You know, this other guy's, he's got 100% knockout ratio, bro.
Yeah,
100%. Max.
It's
Everyone
crazy.
he lays his hands on, he puts them asleep. He knocks them out.
I think this shows how good of a puncher he really is. If he's able to put Bivol down in this fight,
Yo, this is a big fight, bro. Who you got, Max?
I got Bivol.
You want to put money on it, Max?
Nah, I don't want to put
See,
money
you're
on
not confident. You're not confident. Right. You're a faker.
it. I tell you, why you mentioned Bivol saying like he has to be disciplined all 12 rounds. Well, we saw him be disciplined all 12 rounds already against a great opponent like in Canelo. You know how many times Canelo was on the ropes and Canelo wanted him to go in? Like Bivol's not like moved by the antics. Like he has a game plan and he's gonna keep coming forward too. So, but he won't put himself in dangerous ways. But I will tell you one thing, man. Like Tip was saying, man, when Better Be fought Smith, man, holy crap. This dude is a puncher and you can even hear them hits, bro. Like I wouldn't want to get hit by this dude, like no lie, man.
didn't they fight in the amateurs or something like that?
These two? I never heard that.
Or I might be confusing it with somebody else.
Hey, listen. Verbio says if Bivol knocks out Beterbiev, he is the fighter of the decade. Wow. John McSmith says Bivol is not better than Beterbiev in any area. Okay.
Really?
Beterbiev will fuck Bivol up, says John.
I don't know about that
says,
one, but
maybe, but Bivol's story looking good. Boatsi beats Bivol. Jose Garcia says Boatsi beats Bivol.
I can't agree with John because John is the same guy who says he doesn't like Roy
Boatsi
Jones.
might have a chance, Now, look, my thing is this. The winner of this fight has to go down as one of the greatest. One of the greatest at that weight. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You got to remember this. If Beterbiev beats or knocks out Bivol, then Max, how much respect you going to give to the guy who you're respecting Bivol? How much respect you going to give to the guy who can, if he beats Bivol? Say if he knocks Bivol out, bro.
Damn, if he knocks Bivol out, man, he's one of the
He's going
greatest.
to maybe be pound for pound number one.
Oh, he gets hella credit if he beats Bivol because
If he knocks out Bivol, he might be. They might move him up to pound.
He's beating the guy who beat the guy who beat the guy that was supposed to come up and beat him to go back and face the guy that beat him that was the guy at
Yeah.
Remember, Joe Smith Jr. gave Bivol a much harder fight than he could fight Beterbiev. Beterbiev finished him.
I like this fight. I'm gonna
Hey,
go.
listen, imagine if this guy, right, the Kazakhstani guy, just fucking mullahs Bivol. Oh my God. Can you imagine if he mullahs Bivol, bruv? Nobody can say nothing about this guy. This fucking Russian looking Bivol might get fucked up by this Khabib looking motherfucker.
But
Shit.
he doesn't look like he punches that hard.
Man, it's crazy, bro.
Just looking at the photo, he doesn't look like it. But you know what I'm saying? Once you get up close, oh yeah, you can probably see it.
Pat Greedy says Bivol gonna make Arthur use the reach against him and then come down the pike with the 12 whole night.
Folks underrated. I mean, folks
Go on,
underrated.
read that shit, bro, because I'm just
Folks
chilling.
underrated better be because they don't know shit about boxing and only see his power. That Greedy says it's going to be fun. John McSmith says Better Beef has world class skills. Virabo says Better Beef is low key a very smart boxer. Finish Smith faster. I didn't say Better Beef wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Who you going for, Tip Bayless?
I don't know who to pick in this fight. I honestly don't.
You confused, yeah?
I wouldn't bet on this fight. Yeah, that's one I wouldn't bet on.
It's a tough fight to call, huh?
No, definitely.
I think that the Kazakhstani, if he catches him, Bivol might get in trouble, bro. But Bivol's good enough to outbox him. But can he outbox this guy? That's the question. Can he
Bibble's
take the onslaught?
he's very alert, and he like the last two fights I barely seen him out of position, and he doesn't like really overcommit on his shots. He picks perfect shots, like it's straight 1-2, like he said, straight 1-2. He gets you on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? You throw a little hook in there. You know, it's just fundamental boxing. It's literally what it is.
But Canelo Alvarez wants the rematch. Canelo Alvarez says, fuck that shit, man. Eddie Hearn said that Canelo Alvarez wants the rematch first. So before Bivol fights for the undisputed, he said that he's going to reach out to Eddie Reynoso and see if Canelo wants to come back and when he's ready, if he wants to have the rematch.
If I'm Bivol, I'm saying fuck Canelo. Cause yeah, fuck Canelo. I wouldn't take that fight. Fuck that fight.
You don't want to fight Canelo?
There's no need. So what do you think? We're gonna see Canelo versus Better Beef? Oh my god! If we do it, listen. If Bivol beat Canelo the way he did, do we really think Canelo will have a chance against Better Beef?
No, I think Better Beef.
It's gonna put Canelo down.
I think Better Beef beats Canelo for sure.
Yeah, man, fuck that guy. There's no need. Let Canelo take care of what he has at 168. You know what I'm saying? Possibly 160 if he wants to go back down.
Frank says that Canelo should not fight the rematch. But imagine Canelo says to Eddie Hearn he wants that rematch.
He doesn't.
That he said that is eating him up. Imagine if Canelo still takes the rematch. A Tip. Had you respect a man that everybody's saying that he can't win the fight? You're saying he can't win.
Has Canelo publicly said this in an interview? I want to hear Canelo publicly say this in an interview. Other than that, I just hear Eddie Hearn trying to sell us a fight. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth himself.
Cinnamon had his chance. He lost 11-1. Oh shit. Dimitri said himself, Canelo is just money.
Yeah, it's just a money fight.
Talk about planting Benavides. Oh. Pat Greedy, that would be the day Canelo gets knocked out.
And it's
Oh
gonna look
shit.
bad. If he fights a better beef, it's gonna look bad.
So if Canelo fights the Kazakhstani better beef, yeah, he gets knocked out. Ain't nobody ever stopped Canelo. Ain't nobody can hurt Canelo.
Benavides will knock him out first.
I was just about to say, where's Mirage? And this is, yeah.
I just finished cooking. I just came back right on time.
With the way Mirage thinks, Benavidez is gonna knock out Canelo.
Or not knock him out. Stop him. Or stop him.
Man,
I don't think anyone can knock out Canelo, bro.
Okay. Anybody can get knocked out.
Yeah,
Mike
but I don't
Tyson
think.
got TKO'd.
Yeah, I
He got
don't
knocked
think
out.
Canelo can get knocked
Oh,
out.
so
You might
he's
be able
above
to stop
Tyson
him.
now. You put him above Tyson. Are you fucking serious?
No, I'm saying Canelo's smart. I think he'll be a fighter that you might be able to stop him, but I don't think he get knocked out, bro.
Why?
Unless he's getting to the point where he gets
Okay,
caught
well, you'll
flush.
get stopped. Okay, so you
Yeah,
agree he can get stopped.
he can get stopped. Maybe he can get. You never know. Can he get put to sleep? Anyone can get
I
put
don't
to
know
sleep.
about that. I don't care about that. I just care about getting
What's Canelo?
stopped.
32 now, right? What was Canelo?
Better B is overrated anyway. He's hittable. He's not very fast. I reckon Bivol boxes him up. He's another fucking boogeyman. He's got 18 fights, but he's had like 2 good wins, and all of a sudden, he's the boogeyman. This is how hype gets created right here.
All right.
He's not that good, man.
No, he's a unified champion, bro. And
What does that mean these days?
but
What does it mean?
the thing is,
He
he's
beat
beating all
Joe
the
Smith. Joe
champions,
Smith
right?
was a
And
bum.
he's fucking knocked out everybody.
Okay, 18 fights though.
Mm.
You understand that?
Well, he's knocked out a couple of champions in that 18 fights.
Dude,
Bro.
Joe Smith won a vacant bum belt. That's not a real champion.
Joe Smith gave Bivol a good fight, bro.
He lost every fucking round.
He was in the fight with Better
I don't know
BF.
what you're talking about, Rapstar.
Better BF got knocked the fuck out, bro.
This is why you need me on here to like balance against
No
all this
balance,
hype.
bro. Better BF has got a very good, he's very aggressive, a come forward fighter. He breaks you
And he's
down.
hittable and he's slow.
And even if he's hittable, he's got a chin. This
Has he?
motherfucker,
Has been knocked
he's
down
only
twice,
been knocked
hasn't he?
down, and he came back and he knocked the guy out.
Good. Who knocked him down? Some bum.
Callum Johnson.
Yeah, he's a bum.
No, Callum Johnson was an unbeaten fighter. And let me tell you what, we're going to continue about this.
Berlanga's unbeaten. So what? That doesn't mean anything.
Talk about. I'll tell you what.
Zerda was unbeaten.
Look,
44 fights. He's another bum.
One of your mics
man, not everyone's a bum. Look, listen to me. Let me tell you something, bro. This is going to be the fight. It's a big fight, Mirage. I'm telling you, this is a big fight.
It's a big fight. Okay, it is.
Versus Better BF for undisputed.
And what's your pick, Rapstar?
Who you got?
I got Bivol boxing him up.
Are you gonna put your money on it though?
Yeah, against you.
Okay.
You're gonna pick Better BF, are you?
How much you
gonna
put?
Better BF?
I'm gonna say Better BF's got a good chance to beat him. Yes.
Dude,
yes.
Are you gonna put the money?
Are you gonna put
I'm
the
only
money
interested
up?
in your cash.
Are you gonna put the money up?
It's waiting.
Okay. Is it
Australian? Save up your red money.
Is it Australian dollars?
Whatever you want, you can get those shit in pounds.
Ladies
whatever.
and gentlemen, I am not gonna.
Are you going to bet? I see you're hesitating.
Listen,
you guys notice?
Listen, let me just get it off, man.
Ducking and diving.
Shut the fuck up and listen. Bivol is maybe a favorite for some people, but I'm still saying that Better BF got a chance, and he's got a chance to stop Bivol. So I'm
going to put the cash on that?
I'm going to say, just as a boxing pundit, that my money, either way, Tip Bayless can't even pick a winner. So I'm going to put some money on Better BF. How much you going to put? It's a live bet.
Oh, $100, £100.
Yeah. 100 pounds, right?
Yep.
£100 in Australian dollars. How much is that?
That's 140, 150.
Okay. 150 Australian dollars versus the UK sterling £100.
I have a question.
Yeah. Let's
Bivol
go.
beats Better Beef. Does he become the new pound for
Hey,
pound?
Bivol's probably a favorite, but I'm gonna still put money on Better BF.
If Bivol beats Better Beef, does he become the new pound for pound king?
Maybe.
Because I
He's better than
mean,
those hype jobs, Crawford
he
and
beat
Spence, who
he
fight
beat the
nobody.
number one. He beat the number one. Then he beat the runner up.
Mm.
And now, he's about to beat the guy that's alleged to be the boogeyman. It's arguable. I
Yeah,
think.
but look, either way, yeah, it's a 50-50 fight. You can't favor Bivol that much in this fight. It's a 50-50 fight, bro. That's what I reckon. It depends on the night, who turns up. At the end of the day, we could get knockdowns in this fight. We could get Bivol getting into a situation that he's never been knocked out like that or stopped. We don't know if Bivol's going to be great for 12 rounds. We know that Canelo can move Bivol back. We saw Canelo take Bivol to the ropes. So what makes you say that this Kazakhstani fucking what's his name, Khabib looking guy, who's as tough as nails, can't push Bivol back and start taking him to the ropes and maybe start landing some shots on the inside? We know that Bivol can be taken back and pushed back. We've seen it before. So you never know. You know? But yo, Tip Bayless, I'm gonna catch you on the next live, bro.
All right, bro.
I'll see you guys soon.
Peace out,
Yo,
everybody.
peace out. You've been listening to Rap Star, people. We out of here. Peace.
Move. 1, 2. That's it. That's it. That's it. With your arms now. That's it. That's it. Move. 1, 2.
Right, what's going on here, Donny Zondernex? Barry's actually going to propose to Sandra. Sandra has been giving Barry mad head lately, and he's witch, yeah? He's doing this behind the back of the boys because they know, yeah, they would have cussed him out for proposing to Sandra. Tracy had one job to do, and that was to record it, but she's all over the bloody place. Barry's clocked that she didn't get the footage, so he's going to propose to Sandra again. Oh, for fuck's sake, Tracy!